Would you like to support the Insiders? Pick up some merch now. Support us by getting a shirt, a hoodie, support Abby's window, get a Shenanigans shirt, whatever you'd like. Pick up some merch now. Insiders Pro Wrestling. The link is at the end of the video.
What's going on, everybody? Happy Sunday night. It's the day after you roll the clocks back and get that extra hour of sleep, although it really didn't do me any good. It just messes everything up, to be honest. I don't know, Jeff. I think it's time to put an end to that. I get why they did it. It was for the farmers and all that stuff. Yeah. I don't really think we need to do that anymore. It's very depressing. You come out of work, it's dark. You go to work in the morning, it's dark, and then it just makes for a depressing thing.
It really is, especially here in the Northeast, and it gets dark at like 4:30, 5 o'clock. So it's a little depressing. I say we get rid of it.
Agreed. Let's do it. Petition. No more daylight savings time. Gone. Needs to go. Anyway. Welcome in. Glad to see you folks tonight. We are obviously here for our Between the Ropes show. Glad we can get to do this. We don't get to do it all the time. It's fun when we do. We do have a lot of stuff to talk about. We've got Crown Jewel we just came off of, and a whole host of other things that is going on in the wrestling world. Just a couple of quick things I want to touch on early on here, and then we'll get to it. So first of all, we're getting to be, it's almost that time. Our TIGS awards are coming up. And if you don't know what that means, this is good shit, is what that means. The TIGS awards are our annual wrestling awards that we have done since the start and all the way back to our first show. Our very first show was an award show. So you look up our history, and that's where it all started. It was an award show. And poor Jeff had to make like mountains out of molehills with that. We were not video. It was all just like fancy stuff that he had to put together. And so we've come a long way. But they are coming up. I'll have a poll out there for all of you. I will drop the link on the poll on all the social media sites this time, not just Twitter. I'll put it out there for everyone. And you'll be able to go and you'll be able to vote. This is your awards. You guys vote on these. We announce who the winners are. We will then pick our own on the show. Usually we have everybody here. Myself, Jeff, Jody, and Tazzy, of course, is welcome to be on as well. And we will announce who our award winners are. best female, best male wrestler, best pay-per-view of the year, best storyline, rookie of the year, best return of the year, that kind of thing. So we'll have probably, I think we usually do probably around 10 awards. So we will have that, and that show will be some point in January, which will probably be on this show right here. We'll do it on a Sunday night. And it'll, we might do a little bit of news and stuff like that at first, and then we'll go into the award segment of it. So, so just keep an eye out for that. I will get the link out there as soon as I get the poll up and get it going, but it'll be very soon because we're getting to that point. Secondly, we did speak about a membership. We did not forget about that. We're going to start that next year. So, possibly January, we'll see, but we're going to start it next year. The membership's going to be, we're going to do 2 membership streams. The one will be watch along, basically, like a classic watch along with myself and Jeff. And that could be chosen by you. We could do stuff from WWE. We could do stuff from WWF. We could do stuff from WCW. We could do stuff from Impact Wrestling and TNA. So we'll put polls out. You can vote. The members, and then, of course, membership stream, you come and again, we're not going to charge you gobs of money. We're not looking for, oh my God, pay us $50 a month. It's going to be, but we'll have a good time. Very low key streams. We did one of those classic streams. We enjoyed it. I think you guys did too. We had a really good crowd for it, actually. So we will do that. And then we'll have one dedicated to Abby's Window. That's kind of in the works. We'll have to talk to Jody about that too, because of course Jody will be present for that. But it'll be something that is not out there on Abby, so something a little different. We'll figure out what that's going to be, and we'll let you know. Okay, and then as far as our schedule going forward, obviously today is Sunday. Tomorrow, Monday night, it's 6:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's Abby's Window. That is Jeff, of course, Jody, and I think Dom is back. So Dom will be there with them as well. They will talk all about what happened on Crown Jewel, what happened on SmackDown last Friday, and all the theories and all the latest on Bray Wyatt. So make sure you join them tomorrow night. I am at Raw tomorrow. I will be putting up some stuff. I'll take a bunch of pictures. I might throw up a video. If I do a video, I can't do it in the arena, obviously, or I'll get tossed. So I don't want that to happen. I will do that maybe outside as we're going in or something like that. The trucks were all there tonight, so it was cool. When I was coming home, I'd see all the WWE trucks in the parking lot and everything like that. So it's very cool. Johnny Gargano was there yesterday. I know he was doing meet and greets. So yes, exciting. I have not been to a wrestling show in probably 20 years. So very exciting, and I'm excited to go. And then our next show will be Impact Wrestling on Thursday night. You guys all know that come to watch us on Impact. So that is our schedule, and then of course SmackDown on Friday. Okay, so that out of the way. We've got a lot to talk about, Jeff.
Yeah, we do. A whole lot to talk about.
Whole lot to talk about. Yes. I want to. We do a segment at the end of this show called Lighter Side of Wrestling. What I want, I'm going to give you guys homework. You got a little homework for tonight's segment. And because we're selling, I'm not going to give it away, but for tonight's segment, I want you guys all to think up who is your favorite comedic wrestler, like a person who uses comedy. I want you to think of that. And when we get to that lighter side of the ring, I want you to put that in the chat. It was a topic of conversation on the Busted Open Masters class, and I'm like, oh, this is kind of cool. Brought up some people I didn't remember, and things like that. So tell us who at the end of the show, when we're doing that lighter side of wrestling, who is your favorite comedic wrestling personality? Let us know. Doesn't have to be a wrestler. It could be a commentator. I mean, i.e. Bobby the Brain Heenan, Gorilla Monsoon. They kind of go back and forth, things like that. Anything, but let us know. Okay, let me welcome some people in. We're going to get started. Dana says, Jeff, your NFL team won. They did. They pulled it out at the end.
One of my teams had to this weekend.
His college team, unfortunately, did not, but at least his pro team won.
Yes.
So there you go. Anthony is here. What's up with you? Wrestling Lane. Hello, Sean Rousset. Big Dan is here. Yeah, baseball is done. The Astros won the World Series. Jeremy's here. We've got Derek Fleming. Hey, Derek, how are you? We've got Conrad. What's up, Conrad? Hope you're well. We've got John Kessler. We've got Bonus Baby. I'm saying missing Mia Yim from Impact Wrestling. I hate daylights. Yeah, me too. We've got Paul D. Hope you're well also. We've got Alicia. Hello, Alicia. How are you? We've got Barry Monkey from Twitch. We've got James Grant. Hey, James. We've got Seven Fiend, Yowie Wowie from Italy. Hello to you. That's awesome. How is Italy? How is it in Italy? How is Italy doing? How's your weather there? I am at Raw tomorrow. Yes, I am going to Raw. It's literally it's my first show, first live event I've gone to in a lot. Here's how long it's been. State College had to be, oh my gosh, had to be 2000 and maybe 3 or 4. The main event was Brock Lesnar against The Undertaker.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and it was, I think at that point, it might have been, I don't even know. I don't remember which Taker it was, but I remember I did get to see his entrance. So that was awesome.
That's cool.
Yeah. So that was cool. We got Alexa Bliss Gamer 0809. We got Dylan McClure. We've got Rare Kitty. We've got Jeremy. I think I said hello to. We have Mark is here. What's up, Mark? And Tampa One. Happy for you, Jeff, said John. And my Raiders lady. Yeah, your Raiders are in some trouble, dude. Yeah, some trouble. Yeah. So, all right. Let's get down to business because we have a lot of business to get down to. What do we got first, Jeff?
We've got the news up first, and I don't know if we really have any breaking news.
I think the only breaking news we probably would have is the aftermath of Logan Paul. Of course, it came out last night, and I saw it on Twitter, and I saw it all over the place that he was injured in the match, severe injuries as well, MCL, ACL. If that happens to an athlete, basketball players, football players get them, they are gone for a year, usually at the very least. And then he also mentioned he could have another injury. If all of that is true, then he's going to be gone for quite some time, which is a shame because, and we'll get to this, he really showed out. But that's tough, Jeff. And you know, you were telling me about some other people who got nicked up at that event too. So hopefully we didn't lose a lot of people going forward.
Yeah, I know, man. Anytime you come off of a really good showing like that, you hate to hear about an injury. Say what you will about the guy. I certainly have my thoughts about him, but like I said before we got started, I have to give him his props for doing what he did yesterday against them.
Yeah, listen, you can love or hate a person, but you really have to applaud the effort. And he definitely, I mean, I didn't get to see all of Crown Jewel because I was working, but he really, really showed out from what I saw. So it was a heck of an effort by him, and hopefully he's okay. It sucks for WWE because from what I read, they were possibly moving toward a storyline with him and his brother. Was supposed to go up against the Usos, apparently, which is odd because that was going to take the place of Sammy and KO because they don't want to get rid of Sammy. So now what do they do? Right. They're kind of stuck. But yeah, that's about the only breaking news I saw. Big Dan just said Nick Aldis is a free agent January 1st. That just came out tonight. Interesting. Right. Interesting. EJ Movement says, I just want to say Alexa just dyed her hair back to full pink, like she did last time when she was trying to come back before WrestleMania, but the plan was nixed. Tazzy is here. What's up, Tazzy? Hope you're well. Tazzy's got some stuff coming up, lots of stuff coming up, actually. I know he's doing Full Gear. He's got a stream to celebrate his 1K, so lots of stuff going on with Tazzy, so make sure you sub if you haven't done so already. All right. Well, yeah, let's go to just the other news then, I guess, Jeff, since we don't have too much breaking stuff today.
All right, let's go. We'll start out with the Crown Jewel recap.
Yeah, so I did not get to see all of Crown Jewel. Of course, I heard a lot about it through tweets and through the socials and stuff like that. Of course, I was very interested in the Bray stuff, but right when it came on, I'm thankful to Jeff because he was texting me a play-by-play, and it was good because I would have been able to see it. I wanted to go and turn it on quick when I did that, but there was no way I could. We were a little bit busy in the store yesterday. So, but Jeff, I'll let you start this. What were your thoughts on the show, and then I'll kind of just chime in with some of the highlights that I saw about that I saw after the fact.
Yeah, I thought it was a good show. I know we picked the predictions and I think we all picked Damage Control to
Yep.
win the titles back. If you want to say, well, why have Alexa and Asuka win, Monday night just to have them drop the belts again? I mean, I guess that's a question that you have. But I thought the matches were good. I liked the Bobby and Brock match. I know some people had something to say about the ending of that, but I actually enjoyed it. I thought they were good matches, and I got to give props to Bianca and Bailey. I thought that match was really, really good. I didn't expect Bianca to win, but hey, she won, so I'm happy there. And then the main event, I thought that Roman and Logan Paul did a great job. I thought they had a great match, and the storytelling in that was fantastic. And seeing Roman's reaction at the end there, what was he feeling? What was going on through his head? That's what we need to find out. But I thought it was a good show. I really did.
Awesome. And then that's good. You know what? And Jeff's sentiments, I've read a lot of the reviews online about it. And from what Jeff said, a lot of the same kind of reaction came from a lot of people. And usually this is kind of a throwaway pay-per-view. It's not something that ends up being something major where titles change a lot. It doesn't happen a lot there. It's kind of just a spectacle type thing. But I read a lot of pretty good reports about it. So I do have to go back and watch the entire show. I did see the results, and I saw a lot of what happened in certain parts of it. So obviously the spot of Logan Paul going off the ring post and saying "You're going viral, Roman" was kind of funny. The spot where Bianca pinned Bailey in that ladder, in order to pin her was smart. The Bobby Brock match now. Obviously, the crown jewel, they like to see their veterans win. So it does kind of make sense that Brock would win, but I don't think that's over. I don't think it's anywhere near over, unless of course Brock is leaving. But I don't know. I think that one's going to continue, and we'll probably see more of that down the road. The women's thing. They want to establish Damage Control. I kind of would have thought Bailey would have won. We all thought that too. I think most of us predicted Bailey would win and kind of cement that. She didn't. But now you have Nikki Cross in the picture a little bit. Now, what's interesting about that whole thing, and people are talking about Alexa in the chat. We have some more people joining us. EJ Movement is here. Jake Stone. Give me a Holy Yeah podcast is here. Is that Dom? Hello, Dom. How are you? If that's you, hope you're doing well. Dom will be with us tomorrow for Abby's. But the Alexa thing, have to address that. That probably garnered more attention, I think, than Bray's promo did. So, or very close to the same amount of attention. Alexa, of course, if you didn't see it, and I don't know how you wouldn't, but if you didn't see it, Alexa was in a promo, and the butterfly or the moth came on the screen, and Howdy came on the screen, and Alexa did, Asuka did not look at it. The person interviewing didn't look at it. Alexa Bliss did. So if she paid attention to it, and I know I just saw C Wrestling's videos. Oh, it's not Dom. It's the better looking one. Well, yeah. What can I say to that? That's funny. Thanks for joining, though. We appreciate it. It obviously looks as if there might be something there. And of course, they'll touch on this more on Abby's. I didn't think Alexa would be coming back, but the odd thing is this Howdy talking to her? I don't know, and now they're saying she changed her hair. She did. You can see it right on her Twitter. The hair is back to that pink color that she had before. I mean, so who knows? But it was very interesting, Jeff, that Nikki Cross was the one who cost her. And it was almost like a reversal where, remember, when Alexa turned heel the last time, she was the one who cost Nikki. So, and Nikki's career kind of went sideways after that. So she owes Alexa. And that's an interesting thing, because I had predicted that Nikki may join Bray. if they were going to do some sort of faction. So this is really interesting, Jeff. A little bit of an interesting tidbit to come out of that women's match.
Yeah, there's a lot there, and I mean, we'll definitely talk about it. We'll definitely talk about it tomorrow, but yeah, I mean, that was a very interesting point to come out. What's going to happen next with Alexa and with Nikki?
Yeah.
That's the storyline. I want to know what happens.
Yep, and we'll probably say, "Oh, I might see that at Raw tomorrow." Actually, they're both
You
at
might,
Raw.
you might.
Ooh, I might have to get out a report about that one. What's up, Isaac? How are you? Alexa's betrayals are coming back to haunt her. Alicia says, "Hello, better looking one." Tomorrow is going to be interesting. I'm glad I'm going to be there live. Becky Lynch crushing it as Cyndi Lauper and Young Rock. Yes, that was that happened this week. The hair could be a throwback. I was corrected. That's okay. Logan Paul did a buckshot lariat on Hangman Page's level, if not better than most of his, and this was Logan's third official match. Pretty amazing for me. You know, you got to take your hats off to the trainers, I think, too, Jeff. Whoever's doing the training, because remember how good Bad Bunny was.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's Shawn Michaels, and they were saying Shawn Michaels was doing some stuff with Logan Paul, then you got to take your hat off to them.
Kudos.
Definite kudos to the guys who are training these people because they're doing a heck of a job. And remember, those guys can't spend every day in the gym. They have other things to do, so it's probably not a full-time thing for them. So yeah, kudos to them. But it seems like a lot of you guys thought Crown Jewel was good. It seemed like people enjoyed the show. It had some things going. Will there be a little bit of ramifications probably going forward, and some storylines maybe advancing from that, and obviously maybe some storylines that'll come to an end. We had a tease too from Rhea, Jeff. A little bit of Beth Phoenix tease.
Yeah, a little bit. I thought that was interesting too. So we'll see if we get some more mileage out of that.
Another thing we might have to keep our eyes out there for. So,
yeah.
Is there any other wrestler that can get a huge pop and social reaction for a logo appearance? Right? Yeah. I mean, a moth appearance on the screen, and yeah, that was huge. That was well before Bray came out. None that I would be able to think of. None would be. I mean, maybe Taker if they did something like that, but they weren't. Of course, they didn't do anything like that back then. So, but yeah, that was really, really cool. HBK trained Logan very well. Didn't Alexa face babyface cross when she was wicked? Yes. Yeah. Loved Bray's promo. We'll talk about that a little more soon. Okay, what do we got next, Jeff?
All right, up next we have, and we talked about this a good bit earlier, but potential injuries coming out of Crown Jewel.
We touched on the Logan Paul. The Jey Uso one could be very significant, Jeff, because we all know where they're going. They have a match on SmackDown with the New Day, and if they win, they will have the record for the longest tag team champion reigns. So, if it's a broken wrist or something, wrist fracture, I'm not sure how he's going to wrestle. Maybe Jeff and I were talking before the stream started. Maybe they'll get him through it. Where he won't be in the match all that often, and maybe he'll just come in a couple quick bumps or something like that, kind of avoid the wrist or really heavily tape it, and just get him through. But yeah, that could be really, really significant because he's a big part of what they're doing. Even that storyline where they were going, where it almost looked like Jay was kind of becoming the odd man out. That's a big storyline as well. And if he's out for any length of time, that's tough, man. And so two tough injuries. And, we also saw Bailey look like she might have gotten nicked up a little bit. So hopefully she's okay. Yeah. That's a tough part of the business. And, they're significant injuries because Logan Paul, I believe may have been supposedly getting into something with, having him and his brother maybe going up against the Usos at some point, possibly. So none of that. So some significant injuries, unfortunately, Jeff, but that's part of the wrestling game, man.
Yeah. And people are talking about, this is a good point. Do they use the free bird rule and have Solo or somebody else?
Okay.
Step in there with Jimmy. So I think that's a good, that's a good thought there. They could possibly do that. Um, yeah, I mean, you hate to hear about the injuries, but unfortunately, that is a part of it, and you wish these folks well and a speedy recovery.
Yeah, absolutely. Isaac has a quick question. Who do you think dethrones Roman? Well, that's a hard question. My vote is still honestly on Cody, um, because I don't know whether they'll do it at Mania. I don't know whether maybe Cody. My initial idea, but this was even before Bray came back, was that Cody would win the Royal Rumble, and then Cody would choose to fight Roman, obviously, at Mania. But now the rumors are that it's going to be Roman and Rock. So I don't know. I honestly don't know. Roman could listen. The way that the bloodline is going, Jeff, and you can let me know what your opinion on. But the way that that's going, it's one of the hottest things in wrestling right now. And can you just end that? And that's what a lot of the folks that were saying over the weekend. Well, Bray's going to attack Roman. I didn't believe that for a second, because the WWE doesn't want you've got heat with Bray for sure. And he's hot right now as well, outselling the merch of the Bloodline. But the Bloodline is so good. And do you want to end it right now? Do you want to end it right now? I don't think so. So he can have that belt through WrestleMania season and on. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know who's going to beat him. The better question, I think, is when is he going to drop the title? I think that's the better question, and I don't have an answer for that, Jeff.
I don't either. I don't either, because I mean, you think of everyone that they've had up to this point that has challenged him, and he's had some challenges where you were like, well, it could be. I mean, if Drew didn't do it at Clash at the Castle, then when was it going to happen?
Yep.
And a lot of people may not like this, but it may be another year before he loses this thing. I mean, it may, if he does in fact have a match against The Rock at Mania, maybe he loses there, or maybe something happens there, and then you begin to see the decline of the bloodline. But I don't know. They may keep this thing going a while more, and I can't blame them because it's so successful right now.
Yeah, I mean, the whole Uzi thing just blew up,
Yeah,
so that's
yeah.
just making it even more popular. And here's the thing: Roman doesn't even have to be there all the time. He's not at the events all the time, and he doesn't even have to be there. It's still hot. So, man, I don't know. It's really difficult to say. But I don't know. I don't think it's I really don't think it's anytime soon. I really don't. I just can't see it. Give me a holy ass says Sammy is killing it right now. We have a spotlight for that, so we'll get to that later in the show too. You've got to hang around for that. That'll be fun, actually. Big boy Dally is here. Hello to you. We've got well, look at this. Thank you so much. It's Jay McCabe checking in from Brisbane, Australia. Wow, that's amazing.
Awesome.
I listen and watch all the time your guys' stuff and absolutely love it. Love your work. Well, thank you so much, Jay. That means a lot to us. We really appreciate it. Thank you for the donation. That's awesome. Thank you so much for watching from Australia. I would love to see Australia. I really would. I really would love to see it. I've seen pictures and stuff like that. Concerts from the amphitheater there. I'm a big Kiss fan, and I know they had a symphony concert there at one point. I love when you see the stuff from New Year's and everything from Australia. Just another one of those places I would love to go and travel to. But that's awesome. Thank you so much, dude. That's great. Okay. Fresh News says Dream booking. The Rock beats Roman. Big E then beats The Rock with the help of a new now heel New Day. Then have Cody versus Big over 3 months. Okay, that's different. That's different. It's all right.
Yeah.
Would The Rock want to win? No.
That would be for no title.
No, wouldn't be for the title.
Yeah.
It couldn't be, because The Rock can't stick around. So no, wouldn't be for that. It'd be non-title. Like I said, someone had mentioned that before. If they do that, I think the appropriate thing would be to do it for the title of Tribal Chief. That's what I think they would do it for. They would forego the belts. It would be for the title of Tribal Chief. I think that's how they would get away with that. What's next, dude?
All right, up next, we have we talked a little bit about Bray, so he had some words from Uncle Howdy.
man, dude, this is when Jeff texted me this. And I was I'm so like, I love this because it's not predictable. And because I was all over the place with this. At first I said, yeah, it's going to be a promo. Then I said, well, no, I don't think they'd ship him all the way there to do a promo. And then it became a promo. But this is just, I love this. You just don't know what this is going to be. You don't know what you're going to get. You seem to get a little bit more like as if you're putting a puzzle together, right? And you get that one piece that just doesn't seem to fit. And then all of a sudden you find another piece that connects to it, but still you don't have that one piece that puts the whole thing together. That's what it reminds me of. And we saw what we saw on SmackDown, where we got that manic Bray pacing back and forth, getting in that dude's. That dude, by the way, is still in the crapper. That guy that he got in his face, he's still in the bathroom. He hasn't left. He hasn't left the bathroom. But and then this, he comes out again, and he's talking to us again, and he's back to that one. And then he starts talking about the mask and how he felt like he couldn't be, beaten with the mask. So obviously the mask now, but then that's the thing too. You don't know. Is the mask the Fiend? Well, everybody assumes it is, but maybe it's not. Maybe it's if he's referring to all these other personalities, it could be any of them. So could the mask be Bray Wyatt? The Bray Wyatt character. I think it could almost be anything. And then Howdy comes out. And now by the way, I don't know if you saw that on Twitter, and I mentioned it to Jeff. Apparently the inspiration for Howdy came from a movie from the 1980s. 1982, I think it is. 82 or 83. The movie's called Hysterical. Look it up. It's a horror spoof. And in the film, if you've ever seen any old James Bond movies, the actor who played Jaws, he's a huge, huge guy. Big, gigantic dude. He played in other things too. He played Bigfoot in the $6 Million Man, if you're old enough to remember that. Other roles, but he always had that kind of the same role. But he played a character named Captain Howdy. And the mask looks similar. It's white, it's got the chin, it's got the little bit of beard, and he carries a lantern. So, people are like, well, why the hell would he take, think about it. When he's younger, now he wouldn't have even been born when that movie came out. He was born in 1987. Okay, so maybe you're 5, maybe you're 6 years old. And I've told you guys how much I hate The Exorcist and I won't watch it again. It's because I saw it when I was 7 or 8 years old. It ruined me. Well, maybe Bray saw that character. Maybe this was even a real life thing. Maybe when he was a young boy, he saw one of his parents, maybe, and because this is what I used to do. I used to sneak down and watch the TV when my dad didn't know it, because he wouldn't want me watching that, but I'd sneak down and watch anyway. Like I'd be on the rail of the stairs. I'd be watching down through. Maybe he snuck down, watched a movie that his dad was watching and didn't want him to see, and got terrified by this character. Very easy to do. So could that have psychological effect on him all these years later? It certainly can. So, but the message from Howdy, and obviously, Howdy's telling him, well, if you keep the mask, he's telling him not to take off the mask. And it seems as if Bray wants to become just himself, but obviously Howdy fighting that. Well, they would. So they'll cover this a lot more on Abby's, Jeff. But what did you think about this promo, dude?
I thought it was. I got to say this. I'm loving the direction that this is going because it's so different. I know a lot of people are clamoring for him to get into the ring and when are we going to see him wrestle again and that kind of thing. But honestly, with a story like this is something that's unique. This is different.
Yep.
This is about doing some deep character development and a character reveal at some point. So I'm loving what they're doing. I thought this was a very interesting promo. I thought it was interesting from what Howdy said. Would they still love you if they knew the truth?
Yep.
That line was stuck out. So it's like, okay, where are they going to go with this next? What are we going to keep getting? And I know we'll answer some of those questions hopefully tomorrow and do some theorizing. But for me, I really like what they're doing with this. It's so outside of the box, so different. And I think in order for us to get the payoff that we want, we have to be patient as fans, and we have to understand that, good things take time, and um, we've not seen stories like this in quite some time in wrestling. So
Yep.
let it play out.
We'll segue to Abby's with it, and of course, we'll segue to my grievance. My grievance is about this very thing, and people already, and I've already seen articles on major places, Bleacher Report being one of them, saying, well, I don't know that this is going to work because it's taken too long, or it's not leading up to anything, or when is he going to get in the ring? But man, and I'll talk about it during my grievance. Enjoy the ride. Just enjoy the ride. Like I said, we still don't know what it is. We still don't know after all this time. We don't know. We're assuming, my assumption is he's going to fight himself. He's going to fight his other personalities. And someone in the chat said, you don't think it's Bray. I think it's Bray's voice. I don't think there's any doubt about that. Uncle Howdy's voice is Bray's voice. I have no doubt in my mind. Now, is he portraying him? He could be in the promos. If he ever fights him, he can't. So it's going to be someone else that's going to do it. So who that's going to be, I don't know. But, man, I agree with Jeff. Enjoy the ride, guys. This is something, like Jeff said, you don't see this very often. You really don't. You go to any other wrestling company right now and tell me anything close to this. You can't. AEW doesn't do it. They like their stuff to be a little more sports oriented. NWA doesn't do it. Impact, I mean, you get some things with them, like the thing with Violent by Design that's going on and stuff like that, but it's nothing like this. It's nothing like this. So just enjoy it. It's intellectual. It's psychological. And you have to just let it play out. I'll tell you guys, he may not wrestle this year. He may not. We may see this continue. Do you think he'll wrestle a Survivor Series? I mean, that's, if the theme of that is War Games, he might not. And then after that, there's nothing. So he may not end up wrestling until God knows when. It could be the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
But be patient. Yeah, be patient. So love seeing the passion from Bray. While it's not my bag, it's awesome to see what excites. A lot of people talking about Bray Wyatt and all wrestling stream, Facts, Joe and Jeff, and also mesmerizing, says Alicia. Good callback to Captain. I had no idea. That was one I find. I liken myself to a connoisseur of 80s films. That one I've never seen. I didn't know it existed. I didn't know. And I think, Jeff, that they got that from the movie The Fog.
Yeah.
That character, because if you've ever seen The Fog, that big ghostly character that was in The Fog, where the people from the ship, I think what they spoofed in that. But I had no idea that movie existed. Did you ever see it?
No, I've never seen it.
Me either.
I have to watch it now, though.
Yep. Yeah, it's like a must watch now.
Yeah.
So that movie's gonna get like mega popular, even if you could find it. I have no even clue where to even start to look for it. So all right, Jeff, what do we got next?
All right, up next we have a Ring of Honor World Heavyweight title match set for Full Gear.
Full Gear, of course, is coming up soon. It's one of AEW's biggest pay-per-views of the year. Remember, Tazzy will be doing a watch-along for that. God bless. I don't know how you could survive that 5-6 hour marathon, but good luck. We're going to get, I mean, they're really, really pushing the Ring of Honor stuff. And people that are involved, and of course Jericho kind of trying to take out everybody from Ring of Honor, so making himself the big bad, which is smart. He's bringing attention to that title, and that's what they want to do. They're going to have in December, I believe it is, they're going to have their own Ring of Honor pay-per-view. So it's Samoa Joe and others will be there, and I mean, this is interesting. Full Gear is usually a big one for them. One of their biggest of the year, 6 hours. God bless. But yeah, you've got some interesting storylines going on. You've got MJF and of course John Moxley. A lot of people thinking that MJF's going to take the title off of John Moxley at that show. So it should be big. There should be some big results. We all know Tony Khan likes to have surprises in these big shows as well. So if there's anybody that might be out there that he can pick up, you might see some surprises on this show that might end up there. Maybe some of the people from Impact that left that we haven't seen yet. Mia Gim is one. You never know. I mean, her husband is in AEW, so could be. But yeah. So it should be interesting. Their pay-per-views are always pretty good. If you've got the time to sit and watch that 6-hour thing, enjoy it. I know I don't get to watch. The only qualm I have with their pay-per-views are they are expensive, and money, when money is tight, it's hard to drop that kind of money. I mean, obviously, if you're going to sit there for 6 hours and watch it, it's a fair price, I guess. And a lot of people I know that like them go to the movie theaters to see it. Because they do, yeah. Because obviously it's cheaper. You just sit in the theater in the comfort of the theater and sit there and watch and stuff like that, and it's not as much money. So, but yeah, they've got exciting things going on there, Jeff, and I'm sure they'll probably have some exciting stuff for the pay-per-view also.
Yeah, and I'm excited to see this match. I mean, the 4 guys that we saw on the screen: Sammy Guevara,
yep,
Claudio, Bryan Danielson, and Chris Jericho will be in that match. So I'm really excited to see this. I'm glad that they're highlighting Ring of Honor a little bit more. Hopefully this leads to a TV deal for Ring of Honor, for the Ring of Honor side at some point. But I'm glad that they're highlighting Ring of Honor, and yeah, I mean, I'm interested to see what else they add to the card at Full Gear.
Yeah, for sure. I wish they would have them stream them on PlayStation. They were there was rumor they were in talks with possibly HBO Max, but I know they got, that's all probably up in the air now because of the Discovery thing with them. So, yeah, I think a lot of people would like to have something other than Bleacher. Bleacher's weird. It's weird to watch on there and have that be the only place to watch. So yeah, I think that's something down the road they could probably do a little better for their fans with to get it on a different platform would probably help them out. They could have done so much with Ring of Honor, made it its own, but I feel like it's been wasted. AEW needs to pick up Enzo Amore. I hope Chris Jericho retains. I think I'm going to make my triumphant return to the movie theater for this weekend for Black Panther. Yes, I have tickets for that. Tickets on Saturday, actually. Next Saturday, I have tickets for Black Panther. Can't wait. Won't see anything new till the TV deal. Yeah. Well, that makes sense. Yeah. Makes sense. All right, man. What's next?
All right. Up next, we're going to talk about another controversial topic with AEW, and that's the return of Colt Cabana on this past week's Dynamite to take on Chris Jericho.
Boy, oh boy, did this blow up. All I know is when this happened, oh my God, everyone was on this saying CM Punk's going to WWE. CM Punk's going to WWE. I'm like, oh my God, would you stop? I'm like, you can't go. He's still hurt. And plus I'm sure he's still under contract unless somebody voided his deal and nobody found out about it, which I don't know if that is, I don't know if that could even happen in this day and age. But yeah, this is the guy who obviously, the backstory, what happened, the whole thing that imploded. Well, a lot of it was about this guy. And the fact that listen, it's no secret that he has not gotten along with CM Punk for a long, long time. That's no secret. Everyone knows that. So yeah. So, I'm sure AEW fans weren't too thrilled with this, and I could see Conrad's comments. Boo, unnecessary shot to kick someone when they're down. It felt wrong, if that makes sense. So, well, let us know. You guys that watch AEW and you watch it weekly, what did you think of this? Because sure, could it seem like that? What Conrad is saying? That's his opinion about what he thought. So, and he is a big AEW guy. Which, by the way, plug his show. If you like AEW, go check his show out. Obviously, after he does show reviews after all of the pay-per-views and all of the Dynamite. So check out his channel if you haven't done so already. Give me a whole yes says think the Punk thing is not going to be resolved for a while. I agree. It's in apparently legal stuff. And when it gets legal stuff, it's going to be a problem because you're going to have back and forth and stuff like that. And yeah, it's that gets to be very, very messy, very, very messy. So until they say Punk is gone, trust. Yeah, no, listen, look. They also said Aleister Black was gone, right? And they're teasing the return of the House of Black. So, and Aleister came out himself and said it was a lie. So that's why you got to really watch. You can't believe what you read on these dirt sheets. They just don't know. So it's hard because whilst it may have been an anti-Punk move, it could also have been a way for get the locker room together. You could argue it was a positive move, but it looks like shots fired. Yeah, kind of does. Jeff, what did you think about it?
I'll be honest with you. Like I don't want to say bothered, maybe the wrong word. That's not, I mean, I wasn't, it wasn't that strong, but it was kind of like, okay, well, this is just kind of playing into the rumblings and stuff that's going on online. And, is this real? Like, what are we trying to accomplish with this, kind of deal? I had, questions about it, but, again, there's a, until there's some resolution to the situation, who knows what can happen. Crazier things have happened. People have been able to patch things up after it. Yeah, Conrad, that's kind of what the question that I had, like who's running the ship, kind of thing. Who's pulling the strings in the background, because clearly some strings are being pulled. But to kind of go back to go back to the other thing, I just think that you never know. Some things could be things things could be patched up. You never know. I mean, I'm not saying that this is the case. You got some big egos involved, some huge egos involved. So I don't know what the case may be later down the road, but it certainly looked a little bit like what's going on.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, that's the thing, you when I hear other wrestlers talk about it, and they mentioned this on Busted Open, and a lot of the guys said the same thing. And they have Tony Khan on their show every week. He's on sometimes twice a week. So they obviously respect what he's doing, but they all said that maybe there needs to be more help there. Maybe there needs to be somebody else in the back, kind of. He's doing booking, and he's doing, he's the owner and CEO, and he has a lot of hats. So maybe some of those hats need to be passed off, or he needs to hire some other people who can wear those hats. And maybe that would help in the back. So I never liked Punk. To me, he's a disease to the locker room. All it takes for someone to say something to him, and he gets all butthurt, and there's no way he goes to work for Triple H. It was okay, in my opinion. Interesting that no Dark Order references, said David Paul. There are certain wrestlers that just don't like each other in real life. Seth Rollins and Matt Riddle. There are times when Rollins wants to avoid Riddle if possible. Well, you're not going to have everybody like each other. It's a job. You're not going to have everybody be friends in the locker room. Sure. I mean, it's like any other job. You're just going to have, that's going to happen. The thing is, what people have to remember is that it's a job. It's a professional place of work. And while you may not like everyone, you still have to kind of just be there to do your job. You can't be in 6 places at once. No owner can. No. That's why when you see football teams, sports teams, basketball teams, the owner sits up on top, and unless you're Jerry Jones, who butts into everything. But most of the time they're not involved. They have a GM who does that kind of stuff. They have a scout who scouts for new talent. They have this, they have that. It goes all the way down to the bottom level. They don't get involved in that. So maybe that's what it has to become. And just, he needs to maybe take his hands. If he wants to be a booker, fine, be the booker, but then give the other jobs out to some other people. Yeah.
And the last thing that I'll add about this, and Conrad and anybody else that watches AEW and hears some of the rumblings, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about when I say this. Joe, you brought up football. Think about the football analogy. Yep. How many teams that allow their players to have input on player personnel, how many of those teams are successful?
Oh, yep. I can name one right now that's tanking like crazy this year. The Green Bay Packers.
Mm-hmm.
Look how good they're doing. And Mr. Rogers has his fingers on the trigger for player personnel and things like that. And that's going really well.
So, I say that to say sometimes you have to draw that line in the sand. I know that when things first started out, it was cool that some of the wrestlers were EVPs and all that stuff too. Good point, Conrad. The Lakers too. We see how the Lakers are doing right now.
Yep.
Not very good. But I think, there comes a point in time where you have to draw a line in the sand and say you're either in administration or you're talent. And if you're talent, you don't belong in administration.
Yep.
And let's get the people in here. And the thing, it's not like Tony needs to go out and hire people because he has the people there. He's got people like William Regal. He's got people like Paul White, Mark Henry. He's got Jeff Jarrett there now.
Yep.
He's got veteran voices like Sting and Taz and JR. I mean,
yeah.
So he's got people there that can handle some of this stuff. I just hope that he figures out that he can't do it all at some point, not at a sustained high level.
Agreed. Everybody needs someone from the very top down, because decisions get very difficult to make, and a lot of times you start to see the decay from the bottom up because they realize that they can run things and like there's no one down there doing anything or running anything, so they kind of they know they can get away with stuff, and yeah, you have to get somebody in there. You have to get somebody in there that they're going to respect. Like Jeff said, Regal would be perfect. I'm sure almost every wrestler in that locker room probably respects him. I'm sure that's the case, or has heard of him. So yeah, I agree, and I think that the sooner they do that, and the sooner maybe that he gets some people in there that can help him with that, I think the better off that they'll be. Mm-hmm. So. Eagles fan here. Sorry, Joe. Yeah, it's okay. You're 8-0. We're 6-2. We're still good. We're right there in it. So Tony wants to be Vince, and I think that is affecting his judgment. And as AEW, I said I respect the wrestlers 100%. Then Rogers wanted to leave. He might want to leave even more after this year if it keeps going the way that it is.
Oh man, they can't stay healthy at wide receiver, and they keep dropping balls. And I want to say he had 3 picks today, if not more.
He did. Man. He threw a pick right in the end zone. Oh. So he doesn't have his blanket is gone. And I knew that was going to happen when they traded his top receiver away. And yeah, you can see how, but that's that. And like Jeff said, that's what happens. You get too many, other people in the pie that shouldn't be in it. And that's what happens. Things get bad really, really, really quickly. So, all right, man, what's next?
All right. Up next. Yeah, that was a good topic right there. Mm-hmm. Keeping it on the AEW train, Iron Mike was on commentary on Rampage.
They like Mike Tyson in AEW, don't they? No, Big Boy Dally. I am a Cowboys fan, not a Giants fan. I'm a Cowboys fan all my life. Sorry, Jeff. Mike Tyson was back. We've seen him on AEW a few times before. Mike keeping himself relevant and goes to commentary. I didn't see him do the commentary. Was he good, Jeff?
He was good.
Was he good?
Was good. Yeah. I like Mike Tyson. It's so weird, Joe, because I want you to think about, when we were younger and watching this guy as a boxer, would you ever think in a million years that this would be the way this guy's career goes after boxing? And
no.
Conrad talking about when he corrected Excalibur. You would have never thought that this would happen for Iron Mike Tyson. Nope. And the fact that we have a generation of people that don't know how scary this man was and is still. This dude is the real deal. So yeah, it's always good to see Mike and to see his evolution as a person. He talks about that a lot. I listen to his podcast. It's really
Nice.
good. He has some good people on there. But yeah, it was really cool to see him on commentary and hearing him, um, gloat over. I mean, it was just good to see. It's really good to see him involved with them, and good for both parties. Good for both.
That's awesome. Maybe it'll become a more like a more steady thing. Maybe if
Yeah.
he turns out well for him, and he did well on it, maybe they'll keep having him do it. Yeah, why not? Why not? Tyson versus Jake Paul at WrestleMania. Oh God. uh, Listen, he may be an older dude, but like Jeff said, if you haven't seen it, and a lot of you guys are obviously a lot of you folks are younger, and you didn't see him when he was in his heyday fighting. But if you ever want to go, and I'm sure you can find it on YouTube and stuff like that, go and watch some of his fights that he had. He was an absolute monster, and nobody wanted to get in the ring with him.
No.
And so but yeah, it's great to see him. He stays involved in wrestling. Obviously, he enjoys it.
Mm-hmm.
He was he's involved in some stuff with WWE for a little bit, and now, of course, he's with AEW. So he's obviously a fan. And yeah, you never know. Maybe he'll work out as an announcer. That'd be awesome. So why not? He's a great personality, and definitely will get eyes on their product. So and maybe they're shooting for a little more. They tend to have younger audiences. So maybe with Mike there, they might bring in some people who maybe are a little older to come and watch, just because they think, oh, Mike Tyson's on this show. Hey, let me check it out. That's kind of cool. So
because the funny thing is that knowing Mike Tyson, seeing him over the years, you really never know what he's going to say, which makes it tremendous. Like it's must see to see what he's going to say or do.
That is true. Because you never know. He can come off with that just crazy thing that he might say. So, and that's very true. Sean Suslowitz is here. What's up, Sean? How are you doing? Hope you're well. Mike Tyson being on AEW made me think of Buster Douglas was a special referee for a WWE Championship match between Savage and Hulk Hogan. AEW, Dana doesn't like AEW. Let's see. Yeah, it's okay. It's all good. I heard there was a lot more celebs on AEW who showed up, said Big Boy Dally.
Rick Ross was on there. The rapper Rick Ross. He had a cool segment with Keith and Swerve. I thought that was good.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, there you go. You're getting some more celebrities on there. That's a good thing. Local boxing club announced Mike Tyson to be at a dinner and boxing show a couple of weekends ago. Tyson didn't even know about it. Oh, God. Oh, man. All right. Well, what's next, Jeff?
All right. Let's see. Up next, I think we got a couple more things in the news. We got some new members of Violent by Design.
Oh yeah, I missed Impact last week, and I went back though and I watched this. This was really cool. So we saw teasing of this through Impact. Those of you who have been watching Impact with us, and we saw the guys in the yellow jackets and stuff like that. And this has been going on, and of course, Eric Young taking on Sami Callihan, and we all of a sudden got two brand new members. Now we know Joe Doring, of course. Our thoughts and our prayers out to him. He's fighting off cancer. So we would have our best wishes, obviously, out to Big Joe Doring. But now they have two new members that have replaced him, came in and basically laid out Sami Callihan, and that is Big Con and Alan Angels. So this is huge. And of course, Diener, of course, still there with Eric Young. This right away makes them huge. This is big for them. They are now a very relevant faction within Impact, and this could spell trouble for a lot of people. Including Josh Alexander, if Eric Young chooses to go back that way. So this is really interesting, Jeff. But they are definitely now a danger to anyone in Impact Wrestling.
They are, and I mean this kind of harkens back to the beginning of Violent by Design. They had Diener, they had Rhino at one point, they had Big Joe, so they had these four intimidating figures, and I think this is good. This is a different feel to the group.
Yep.
Don't be surprised if you see Diener and Alan Angels team up and go after those tag titles. Don't be surprised if we see that. But yeah, this positions EY well. Again, man, shout out to EY because he's been killing it since he's been back in Impact, and I'm really digging this direction for Violent by Design.
Yeah, absolutely. They're better as a faction. They certainly Eric Young could go and split off and do his own thing, but they do really well together as a faction. So with these two men and Big Con, of course, that big intimidating guy, which is what they had in Joe Doring, very very smart. So yeah, I'm excited to see where they're going to go with it, who they're going to go after. Obviously, they've got their sights set on Sammy. I'm sure Sammy will come back with something. Maybe Sammy will gather a couple of people up to help him out. We'll see, but it'll be interesting to watch. Heather says, I'm glad that EY brought Khan and Angels in, even though I was shocked the Angels agreed to be in another faction. Fresh News says, hear me out, Brawl for All 2. Winner fights Conor McGregor at WrestleMania. Oh, the Pool Boys, King Corbin, former Gold Glove boxer Riddle, even Brock Lesnar could enter the tournament. Well, there you go. There's some good booking. Mark says, I said earlier that now it feels like Violent by Design is Impact's version of the Bloodline. I just have that feeling. I'm wondering about the others we've seen in one-off matches in Impact. Shane Taylor come back. You never know. When you see those people come in, you kind of think of sometimes they'll be a one-off, but they've got roster spots to fill. They lost some people. So you may start to see some people coming in that weren't there before. So I wouldn't be surprised if anyone, some people started coming in and joining Impact. So keep watching. If you haven't, come out and see our show. We do it every Thursday night. Come and join us. If you're not watching Impact, you're missing a really, really good wrestling show. So come out and join us. You see people like Heather. They're there every week. Mark's there. Deanna's there. So come out and join us. It's a really fun time. If you have not watched Impact or TNA in a while, come check it out. All right, Jeff, I think we got one more thing in the news.
Yes, one more thing, and this is a big historic milestone. Josh Alexander is creeping up on the list there of his title reign. He's third right now behind AJ Styles and Bobby Roode in terms of the length of the title reign.
I would have to think, and then Jeff was the one who mentioned this on a few of our Impact shows, that what they're doing here, because a lot of, after the last Impact pay-per-view, a lot of people were kind of maybe ragging on Impact a little bit, saying, oh, why are they doing this with these veteran guys back? And why would they be setting him up to wrestle Bully Ray? And why would it be? Well, like Jeff was kind of saying, they're setting him up to probably break this record. Where so he has some time to go. He's very close to AJ Styles, very close to AJ, so that's only going to be a couple of weeks. And it'll be sometime maybe early next year, or maybe a Slammiversary, whether he'll break the all-time record. So I agree with Jeff there. I think that is indeed what they're doing. They're setting him up to be the longest reigning Impact Wrestling champion, which is a very big deal. Very, very big deal.
Yeah.
So James says he thinks that he'll beat the record. Oh, I have no doubt. And that would in turn make it that he would beat Frankie Kazarian, which I do believe he will. And then he'll move on to someone else. And that someone else, is it Macklin? Is it Bully Ray? Bully Ray's got the cup. Mm-hmm. So maybe it's Bully Ray who he will beat for that record, Jeff. So, but he's had a great run, and I'm sure it'll continue at least through where he beats that record.
Yeah, I think so. I think there's a good chance that he beats the record because, and if you're an Impact fan, you'll know exactly what I'm saying by this. Josh is Impact Wrestling. He is the embodiment of what it means to be an Impact. So I think a guy like him, he's gonna be remembered as one of the greatest to come through the company. So, I think he beats it. If he doesn't beat, I think he's definitely gonna beat AJ Styles. I think in terms of it, Bobby Roode had such a great run there, but I think he does eventually beat it. And I mean, can't say enough about the guy. He's been a great champ.
Yes, he has, and he represents Impact very well. He's doing other shows. A lot of times he's out in the indies and stuff like that, and so he's representing their product extremely well. So he's been an amazing champion. And, he was known more for the North and for his time with Ethan Page during that, with the tag team. So, a lot of people say, well, you usually don't come from a tag team and become a very, very good solo wrestler. And obviously Josh has done just that. So congrats to him on the run. And I'm sure it's going to go on a lot longer. So, all right. That is the news. And I think we might be at everyone's favorite segment of the show, Jeff.
We are definitely at everyone's favorite segment of the show. So let me shut my mouth and let this play.
The airing of grievances. I got a lot of problems with you people. Now you're going to hear about it.
It makes me chuckle every time I hear that. Now you're going to hear them indeed. Uncle Joe is going to tell you a story. My story starts a little like this. When I was a very young man, many, many eons and years ago, my grandparents once told me a little saying, and I used to hear it all the time on, we if you're probably way too young to remember this stuff, but I know that some of you in the chat will. But we used to watch these things during Saturday morning cartoons. They play on commercials, and they would teach you all these little life lessons. They taught you all these different things. But the one thing my grandmother used to always tell me, probably more than a lot of other things that she used to say, was patience is a virtue. Patience is a virtue. And, I took that with me, and it's funny because I'm not a very patient man. Not at all. I'm not going to say that I am. I'd be lying if I did. So I guess maybe I didn't listen to her very well, but yes, that is what I'm going to talk about in my grievance tonight, because we harken back to, and you can use this in a lot of places today, really. So many people that are out there today we live in the social media age. We live in the Gen Z age, and it just seems like everybody wants instant gratification. Everybody wants instant gratification. But they don't realize, and that's, they don't realize that by having that instant gratification, that it happens in that moment, you're thrilled that it does, but then it's over. And the finality of it sets in. And then you're depressed, you're upset. And then you're looking for more instant gratification. And it just becomes a cycle. I'm talking about wrestling, of course. And this goes back to my arguments with the dirt sheets and things like that I always rag about. The dirt sheets are made of instant gratification. They know it. They know people want it, and that's why they exist. They're out there because of that, because they know people want their information. They don't want to wait until things play out. And man, oh man, Jeff and I had spoke a little bit about this Bray Wyatt stuff a little bit earlier in the show. And already this past week, I was waiting for it. I was absolutely waiting for it. I'm waiting at some. Okay, when is it going to come out? We're going to get some articles that are going to come out that are going to say, well, I don't know. This is taking too long. When is this going to resolve itself? When is Bray going to get in the ring? And boy, oh boy, did I see it on the socials on Saturday during Crown Jewel. All I could see, and I really didn't have a chance. So I told you I didn't watch it and couldn't watch it, but all I was seeing after that promo that he did was another promo. Oh my God, when are we going to finally see him in the ring? When is this going to happen? I'm so sick of waiting. Oh my gosh, I'm sick of these promo. Wow. This kind of stuff is what should be exciting for people. It's what should be making you get excited for what's to come. And yet, again, that sense of I have to know now. I have to know right now. You know what that reminds me of? Willy Wonka and Veruca Salt and her song, I Want It Now. You know what I'm talking about. Well, that's how everyone is. I don't care how, I want it now. And man, oh man, you just have to sit and just when you get that way. And listen, you know what, we all do. I'm not going to lie to you and say that's never happened to me. It does. It's human nature. It's human nature for us to want to know, and we want to know right away, right? But I'll go back to what my grandma said, and patience is a virtue. Patience is also hard. It's not an easy thing to do, right? It's not easy to, patience is also sitting and waiting for a test result in the doctor's office, right? Or when a loved one's in a hospital waiting for news. That's patience. Patience is waiting for, when you're going to school, waiting for the test result that doesn't come for days and knowing whether or not you failed something or whether you passed the test. That's patience. Patience with, with people that you know. Patience is a lot of different things, but patience with the wrestling world, what they want to do, and it really looks as if, and I don't know this to be true, but it really looks as if since Triple H took over, that Triple H is trying to feed people incorrect information. It kind of seems that way because the dirt sheets aren't seeming to get a handle on stuff. At least this stuff that's going on with Bray Wyatt. They came out with all these stories last week about the possibility of a rocking chair and a Fiend mask and stuff like that. Well, that didn't happen. And so I think they're getting fed incorrect information, which honestly is brilliant. Brilliant. I'm so glad that they're doing that. And I'm so glad that this stuff isn't getting leaked the way that it did before. Because honestly, it ruins the whole thing. However long this is going to take, we will get a payoff. We will. It's going to pay off at some point. But the thing I'm saying is, don't rush it because you're taking away that buildup. Remember, I compared it to a puzzle piece. What happens when you rush to do a puzzle? You're done. The puzzle's done. And you're sitting there with a big puzzle picture in front of you, and you're like, well, that's cool. But I just did all this work to get there. And now I'm kind of just staring at this picture that I built. And then you take it apart and put it back in the box. And you probably never touch it again. So let it play out. Have the patience to not want to rush it, not want to, well, I need to see him in a ring. Man, I need to see him wrestle. Man, and is that enjoy the story. Enjoy the moments. I mean, we kind of help you with that, right? Because, and so, others that are into Bray see wrestling with his videos, us with Abby's Window. We help you guys with that, right? Because we talk about theories, and theories are all things that we're all thinking. Everyone has a different theory, and that's okay. That's part of the fun. That's part of the, is my theory going to come true? And how cool is it when it does? When you think of something, when you think of something that's going to happen and you think you've got it all figured out, and then all of a sudden you see it start to play out and things are looking kind of like you're right. And then you get even more anxious and more excited. You're like, wow, this is really cool. Just be patient. Be patient. I'll harken back to a ketchup commercial. Anticipation is making me wait. That's a Heinz ketchup commercial because they used to preach that their ketchup took the longest to come out of a bottle because it was the thickest. They used to have the thickest ketchup. And when you turn a ketchup bottle over, well, now they have the squeezy bottle. So see, even ketchup, they changed it. You don't even have to wait for ketchup anymore. You used to have to wait. And if you're a ketchup lover, right, Jerry? And if you're a ketchup lover, right? And I was, man, when I was a kid, I put ketchup on everything. I even put ketchup on steak. And my dad used to be like, oh my God, can you ruin steak like that? I did. Ketchup on everything. And you used to sit there and have to pound on the back of the bottle because it would literally not come out. So anticipation is a great thing. And then when the ketchup came out with a ketchup bottle, then you were ruined because the ketchup would just blurt all over your plate. So then the anticipation was way better than what you end up getting was a big mess of ketchup all over your plate. So, oh man, that's really my grievance is, boy, oh boy, sit back and enjoy the ride. And trust me. And I know some of you have done it, but trust me, you will be much more excited about wrestling. You'll be much more you'll enjoy it so much more. It's cool to theorize. Do it all you want. Don't and but stay away from that mentality of, oh my God, it has to happen now. It has to happen now. It has to happen now. We all know what happened to Veruca Salt. She wanted it now. She got it. That is my grievance for the week. So yeah, just sit back and enjoy it. And I'm sure, Jeff had mentioned how cool the Bray Wyatt thing was when we were talking about Bray Wyatt, Jeff. And I'm sure that with you, having a past in wrestling, the basis for pro wrestling is a story. And it's never a short play. It's always a long storyline.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the best ones are the ones that take time to develop because you're getting more layers to a story. And that's what it's about. And when you get someone as cerebral as Bray Wyatt, he has a story that he wants to tell. And I think if us as fans trust the process, I think we're going to get a really cool payoff. But sometimes things take time. I mean, my God, think about today's fans with the Hogan and Macho Man build.
Oh, for God's sakes.
I mean, think about that. That wouldn't have worked,
Nope.
So I mean, there's a different wrestling fan today, but I will say that I'm really glad that some of these companies are pushing back and developing these longer stories, these things that take time, because it harkens back to what makes wrestling great, and that's the storytelling, character development.
Absolutely. Hell yeah. Used anticipation. Are you talking about the Heinz Girls? Anticipation. Yes. It's really, guys, it's patience. It really just is. Have some patience and maybe even a smidge of faith that it's all going to work out and it's going to be awesome. And yeah, Bray's story specifically transcends wrestling. It's like a movie that breaks up a wrestling show. If it's not for you, it's 5 minutes of a multiple hour show, but the complexity and fun is unequaled. Yes, he's having a ball with it.
Yeah.
And why not? It's what makes wrestling fun. And if you want all this instant gratification, guys, listen, there are wrestling shows that are out there for you. If that is what you like, there are other wrestling shows that are more into that. They don't do a lot of storyline. They don't do, stuff from week to week to week to week. There are independent shows out there. There are, stuff like GCW and some of the smaller companies. They don't do a lot of that. So there's wrestling out there for you. But like I said, just enjoy it. It really is what makes all this fun. So, okay. I see you, Jeff Cerebral Triple H, says Tassie. Big Boy Dallas says, I love what you said. Not only is true about wrestling, but also about life. Listen, hey, I'm no one to speak about it. I am impatient. I by nature, it's hard for me to be. I think I've developed a lot of that because of 34 years of retail. It's very, very difficult sometimes. And I do get impatient. People come into my store, they have problems. And I'm like, oh, why don't you know that? So it's not easy. But what I try to do is I try to be more patient with my enjoyment. I'm not as much in work, but I try to be, movies and things like that. Again, I tell you guys this all the time. I used to spoil myself all the time with stuff. I don't anymore because you know what I realized? It ruins it. And, with all these movies that I like to go see and stuff like that, it ruins it looking it up and finding out what happens. So I don't do that anymore. That's it. I hope you enjoyed that. That is our airing of grievances segment. Not really much of a grievance this week, but I just wanted to get that out there, especially about the Bray stuff, because you're going to see it, guys. If you're on the socials, you're going to see it. because it's already started. So you're going to see that out there. All right, man. What have we got next, Jeff? I think it's I think we're going to do a little sell or no sell time, I believe.
Yeah, that's where we are. Sell or no sell. So let's do it.
Let's rock. Sell or no sell.
And this is going to be a theme throughout tonight's show. So just go ahead and get used to it. First topic. Wrestling needs more stories like Bray Wyatt's. Joe, sell or no sell? Let me get my handy dandy sound machine ready here.
You do it.
There we go. So yeah, sell or no sell.
All right, guys, play along in the chat. Sell or no sell? Without a doubt, a shadow of a doubt, sell it. Without a shadow of a doubt.
I love it.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt we need more stuff like this. I want to see, and I know a lot of you guys in the chat are big fans of Alexa. Listen, I would love to see something like this with Alexa and Nikki. I would love to see something on the women's side of it. I want to see, yes, give me more. Give me more. I want to see more of this. This is a part of wrestling, as we just said. There should be more people attempting to try to do this. And look, maybe if Bray Wyatt puts a stamp on, he talked about in his promo about how he wanted to be the best of his family. Maybe he will be, and maybe this will do that, because maybe he will transcend the wrestling business a little bit, and he will lead people to take chances and do things or want to do things like this. We've heard from people like Karrion Kross, who said he'd love to work with him because he thinks it's brilliant. There are other people that are out there. Alexa had said that in interviews, that she loved working with him because he thinks it's brilliant. So I hope that this leads to more people doing it and not be afraid to go to the next level with these storylines. I absolutely love this, and I love this idea, and I hope it does spread, Jeff. I hope we get more and more like this.
Yeah, I'm gonna sell it too. I have a bit of a caveat.
I love it.
I would say I want to see more in-depth stories told. I don't want it to be overdone, because then it just begins to look like it's copying and other things like that. I don't want to see it overdone, but I think given the right characters, given the right people involved, you can do this anywhere. And I mean, think about the stories that Impact tells with Josh and, even Bully Ray. Now it comes down to, you can't trust Bully Ray. Josh has been so trusting of other people, and it's in that story. You get the story with Mickey James, and how she's trying to keep it going, and hopefully challenge for a championship. There are ways to do it in places. Long-term storytelling is still alive and well, and I'm happy about it. And I want to see more in-depth stories, more character development throughout wrestling.
Yeah, no doubt. And of course, if I came off, maybe I came off thinking that, or making it sound as if I want it to be all like supernatural stuff. No, like Jeff said, there's other ways to do it. Look at what MJF is doing with him, with the thing with Regal and the backstory with that. And then all I'm saying is, you don't have to just throw feuds together. There could be a little bit of backstory from the characters, and not everybody needs it. I mean, hell, we're even getting a little bit from Baron Corbin right now with him and JBL. That kind of came out of the blue. There was really no setup or anything for that, but now they're playing it out. Every week, JBL comes down to that ring with Baron Corbin, and he's on the commentary. And so it doesn't all have to be the same, and it won't be. Every wrestler is different. And I'm not saying it all has to be supernatural, because supernatural, yes, that's tough to do, and stuff like that. And we don't even know if Bray's character is supernatural anymore. He might not be. This might just be a psychological thing. So, but yeah, I agree with Jeff. And I think, it doesn't have to be with everyone, but his examples are perfect with the Josh thing, with the Mickey thing, things like that. That's all stories. And the reason that we love Impact so much is because you see sometimes these stories will develop with a little look. They'll walk by each other in a hallway and a little stare down or a little look. And all of a sudden you're starting a little bit of a storyline that ends up paying off down the road. That's all I'm saying. Just stuff like that. I think there just needs to be more of it. and not just throwing together. We saw, listen, with Vince, right? We saw a lot of just throwing people out there just to throw them out there. No backstory, no, a lot, and we saw a lot of that. We're not seeing it as much anymore, and I'm happy about that. So, what's the next topic, Jeff?
Next topic. We spoke about Mickie James.
We did.
Mickie James will win the Knockouts World title before she retires, Joe. Sell or no sell?
Oh, man, this is a hard one.
I know this is a tough one.
Wow. See, this has to go and harken back to what Mickey's goal is. Is she doing this to try to win the gold, or is she doing it to put someone over as the next big thing? I'm going to go with the latter. I don't think she will win the title here. I think she will probably lose in the championship match. And if it happens to be right now, of course, we know it's Jordynne Grace. If it happens to be Jordynne Grace that beats her, it'll be a hell of a match. And then at that point, Mickie put over the next, or who she feels is the next in line. And so I'm going to say no. I'm going to no sell it. I don't think Mickie needs a title anymore. She has nothing to prove. She's going to be a Hall of Famer in WWE, no doubt. So I think she has nothing left to prove. She'll be an Impact Hall of Famer as well. And so this is her last rodeo. I think she's doing it for a reason. And I think what she's doing is she's putting over women that she wrestles. And these women that are coming wrestling her, Mia Yim, she pretty much, Mia Yim had a great match with her. All these women are having great matches with her. And now Mia went on to other things. So, no, I think she'll lose her last match. And if that happens to be at the time Jordynne Grace, then I think it will be Jordynne Grace that she puts over, Jeff.
I agree with that. I think this is about her establishing someone as next, as they say, who's up next, in terms of big time stardom. So I don't think she'll win it, but I think she'll lose it in that match. And I think that could last up to Slammiversary potentially. Yep. I'd like to see her go out on top, with a big moment at a big show like Slammiversary. So yeah, I would like to see that linger out a little bit, play out. We talked about storytelling, so let this play out a little bit and let that be who she goes up against. That personally, obviously, I want that to be Jordynne Grace because I do think she's very talented and can be great for the business in the future, and she is now. But I think that'll be kind of a passing of the torch moment.
Yeah, and imagine the celebration at the end. Mickie holding the arm up of the current champ, and then also her having that moment with the fans as that last the last rodeo comes to an end. So yeah, it's awesome. It's gonna be awesome either way. Mickey's a legend, and there's no way it's gonna matter one way or the other whether she goes out with gold or not. And besides, if she does, think about it logically too, which sometimes I like to do. If she does win, where would she go then? Right. How does the rodeo continue after she wins a title? I just think that makes things even more complicated. So. Yeah. Well, there you go. We both agree. Big Boy Dally says sell. Sean Rousset says no sell. No sell. She will lose and retire, says Jason. No sell only because I'd love to see her and Nicole this in WWE next year. Mickie she's going to go into the Hall of Fame, no doubt. No sell because I have both of them. She'll be in both Hall of Fames, no doubt. No sell because I have a feeling she'll make the title match and lose. Elijah says agreed. Jeremy says no sell. I feel like WWE should do something for Impact as Impact did for the Royal Rumble, and I feel like it should be for Mickie James. She'll be back there. Mark, I guarantee she will. Alicia says no sell. Okay, what's next?
All right, last one. Nyla Rose will be the one to end Jade Cargill's streak.
Oh man. We know that Jade Cargill's been on fire, hasn't lost. He's come like Goldberg-esque. And she's just been beating everyone. who is going to take her down, and if it's not Nyla, who beats her? Because she just has taken on all comers, and it just really, I don't know. This is really, really tough. Is Nyla going to be the one to do it? I guess the thought is, who does? No, I'm going to say no sell, though. I don't know. In my mind, I have a couple other people that I would think maybe could. But no, I'm going to say no sell. I still think Jade holds on to the title. I don't know how long it'll be. But Conrad's saying Jamie Hayter since Statlander got hurt. Could very well be. Christopher saying no sell. Conrad says no sell. Elijah says no sell. Soraya will beat Jade Cargill. Okay. Jamie Hayter is going to beat Jade, says Chris as well. Jeff, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm going to go no sell. I'll say this, though. I'm loving what Nyla is doing with the TBS championship belt.
Yep.
I'm loving that whole thing. So, it's adding some more to Jade's character and everything, and showing how funny Nyla is. So, but yeah, I don't think it's Nyla. My money would be on Jamie Hayter, potentially. So I think that's what we could see. But yeah, I'm gonna no sell this one.
All right. There you go. Looks like everyone agrees. No sell says Sean Rousset. No sell says Dylan. And no sell says Dan. Jesse Callan. What's up, Jesse? How are you?
Hey,
totally forgot you all were live until I came on YouTube and saw. Well, there you go.
Hey.
All right. I believe we're going into our what to watch for segment.
Yeah, and since we won't be here before these shows, we wanted to go over them this week just to kind of tell you what you could be on the lookout for over the next few weeks.
NWA Hard Times. For those of you who watch NWA, I always say this. I really wish I got more time to watch NWA because I really loved it. They do some really great pay-per-views. And this one, of course, in New Orleans, November 12th, 2022. So I'm sure there are a lot of people in our chat that do watch NWA. What have we got? What have we got on the card for that, Jeff? Is there any? Let's check it out here.
Yeah, I know the championship match is, I think, Cardona, Trevor Murdoch, and Tyrus.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Is this Hard Times 3? Yes, it is. Here,
yeah.
I've got it up here. Let's see what they've got so far. We've got Hardcore Team War. That's Magic Jake Dumas, Jax Dane with Christy Janes and Chris Silvio versus Anthony Mayweather, JTG. JTG and the Pope, of course. Trevor Murdoch, versus Matt Cardona versus Tyrus. That's the three-way match for the NWA World title. We've got Camille, of course, who is still the champion, versus Killen King, and Chelsea Green is in that match. So Chelsea Green possibly getting a title shot there along with her husband, Matt Cardona. Scion versus Dak Draper. We've got the Fixers. Jay Bradley and Wrecking Ball Legursky are the champions versus the Spectaculars, Rush Freeman and Brady Pierce with Rolando Freeman. We have Homicide. We know Homicide well, versus Kerry Morton. That's for the Junior Heavyweight Championship. We got EC3 versus Tom Latimer. We've got Nick Aldis versus Odinson in the singles match. We've got Pretty Empowered, Kenzie Page and Ella Envy versus Maddie Rankowski and Missa Kate. That's the tag team championships. We've got La Rebellion, Bestia 666 and Mecha Wolf with Damien 666 versus Hawks Airy, Luke Hawks and PJ Hawks. That's for the NWA World Tag Team title. Davey Richards versus Colby Carino. Singles match for the MLW National Openweight title. The question mark? What is this? The question mark with Aaron Stevens versus the question mark 2. They have a new question mark. How did I not know this? I love the question mark. Oh, goodness gracious. May he rest in peace. Wow. I didn't know they had a new question mark. That's amazing. You NWA people need to fill me in. How did I not know? I still have that mask. Aze Kazana with Anthony Andrews versus Jordan Clearwater. Max the Impaler with Father James Mitchell, who we know very well,
Yep.
versus Natalia Markova. So a Voodoo Queen casket match. That sounds cool. A lot of stuff there. Man. Looks good, Jeff.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. I think I may actually get that.
Yeah. It looks like it's going to be a really, really good show.
Yeah.
Let's see. Somebody pretending to be the question mark. Is he wearing his same mask, Barry? I'm not happy. I love the. I did too. He followed me on Twitter. I was so excited when he did. I told Jeff about that. I literally put conversations and tweets to him with the question marks like he does. And he actually followed me the one day, and he still, obviously they never changed his Twitter. So I'm still one of the few people he followed on there. It's like 40 some people. And I'm like, I got followed by the question mark. It was awesome. So I love that character. I really did. I miss him. And he was one of the people who got me watching that show. I loved him. I loved he would do the videotape stuff from Monrovia with the VCR. And I loved it.
Oh, so great.
I loved it. I loved it. How about that stuff he did with Thunder Rosa?
Oh man,
oh,
he was great.
So good. Was so good. Yeah, may he rest in peace. All right, and then we've got two other things, I think, too, right?
Yeah, we've got Overdrive, which we will be doing on this channel.
We will. We've got Impact Overdrive, and of course, we know we've got a title match. That is Josh Alexander versus Kazarian for the Impact World title. I'm sure we'll get much, much more announced for this. This is Friday, November 18th. We will definitely have this on our channel. I know that it'll be a little bit of a conflict because we do SmackDown. We will not be doing SmackDown for that week. Because we do focus on our Impact pay-per-view. So when there is an Impact pay-per-view, that is what we do. Now, not to say I won't. I think the last time I had two things going. So, we could always do that in kind of a simulcast, but we do focus on the Impact pay-per-view. So we will be having this on our channel on November 18th. So make sure you come out and check it out. So yes. Well, other than, do we have any more matches other than Josh and Frankie?
Let me see what they've got, because I know they've added some stuff. Recently, I think Moose and Bully Ray have a match.
Oh yeah, you did tell me about that.
Yeah.
Let's see. Matches: Josh versus Frankie, Taurus versus Trey Miguel.
Oh, well, that's we probably shouldn't know that.
Oh, don't read that anymore. Stupid Wikipedia. Oh, whoops. Anyway, not reading that one.
Well, let's go to the next one. We talked about this a little bit earlier, but Full Gear.
Moving on.
Obviously, we know we're getting Moxley and MJF, and then we're getting this Ring of Honor World Championship.
And again, I'm sure there'll be a lot more announced soon. They, leading up to these shows, they like to announce these things during the upcoming shows. So there'll probably be a lot more for Full Gear. Again, when when AEW has their pay-per-views, they're big events, of long events. So they don't have them very often. They're only 4 times a year, maybe 5 times a year.
And I get them not, being a little bit longer because of the fact that they only have the fewer years. It's not like WWE where we get something every month. So
yeah, that could be a fun thing we could do for a membership stream at some point. Brandon Wayne Lewis is saying RIP Aaron Carter, age 34. We can do an old NWA pay-per-view. I would love to do that with question mark, and I will promise you I will wear my question mark mask through the entire show. I will put it on and wear it through the entire show.
There you go.
So I will dress up in the question mark mask for that entire membership stream. So there you go. Tazzy's looking into portable toilets. He's buying a porta potty. Just sit on a little potty like they give to children. Just have that little underneath you. Nobody will ever even know. There might be some noises.
Just make sure you mute, Tazzy.
Just mute your mic.
Mute.
I told you, dude, you could get some Depends. Get some Depends.
Yeah.
It'll be kind of gross. You'll have a lot of smelling going on there, but got to do what you got to do.
Got to do it.
All right, that is what to watch for. So a lot of stuff coming up in wrestling.
Yeah.
And then, of course, looking into November, we've got Survivor Series coming up for WWE. We already heard that that's going to be a War Games thing, which is going to be very, very exciting for a lot of people. You might have a full-on thing going on with some of these groups, whether it be the Bloodline against someone. Some people are saying Bray may have a faction by then. We don't know, but Survivor Series should be very, very interesting. So lots of stuff going on, and then it kind of dies down in December because, of course, the wrestlers and stuff take a holiday break. They, are with their families, and you don't get as many shows then. So, all right, cool. Coming up next, I think we have our Book a Wrestler segment, which should really interest a lot of people tonight.
Yeah. Let's book a wrestler, and we've talked about this wrestler throughout the evening.
We
So,
have.
we'll book this wrestler, and people in the chat, please play along.
Yes. Who is it? Well, looky here. We've done this gentleman before, way back when he was back with WWE before he was released. What we're doing with this one, though, is, and you guys know, you all hear Jody's theories, and you hear Dom. Of course, you'll hear Dom's theories tomorrow on where they think this is going. But we just thought, because I don't get to be on Abby's and stuff, so I thought I'd give you a little bit of mine tonight, and maybe Jeff will give you a little bit of his as to where we think this is headed. Where is this going? And how would we? So now's your chance. The folks that aren't patient, now you get to play. How would you go with this Bray Wyatt story that we've seen so far? Where would you go with this? You're booking this now. You're booking this. Where would you go with this storyline for Bray Wyatt? So, Jeff, go ahead. I'll let you start. What do you think?
Man, for me, I think I'm big into stories.
Yep.
Like, big into stories.
Yep.
So I want to see this play out just like it's playing out. I wouldn't do anything any differently in terms of letting this be a slow play, letting this continue to build with the introduction of other characters. We know that we're getting Uncle Harper at some point.
Mm-hmm.
So when do we get Uncle Harper? I would continue to play this out. I would eventually lead to, like Tim Johnson is saying here, I would have him face himself somehow.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how you pull that off, come face to face with Uncle Howdy, how you pull that off, I don't know. That's why WWE has the production, the production that they do. You let them figure that out, but slow burn, keep the story going. I would not have him wrestle until the Rumble. I wouldn't have him wrestle this year at all. I would have the rest of this year be all about his story, unveiling different members. I think the Wyatt 6, I can tell you what I'd like for it to be. Would I love for it to be a faction? Yes. But I think that this is more about the inner demons and the other personalities that are there. So
Yep. The psychological stuff I want to continue. We're seeing, you could count the number of personalities we've seen. The personality who comes out to the ring and talks to us. That obviously is who he said it was when he first came out. He said, "This is me. This is me." That's the genuine Bray Wyatt. That is Bray as himself. The manic personality that we saw confront that person in the locker room and kind of went off and had a very short fuse and was just very, pacing back and forth like a caged tiger. That's a second personality that we've seen. Howdy is a third personality that we've seen. Harper is going to be another personality that we've seen. And yes, I do believe, like Jeff does, the Wyatt 6 is not a faction. I think it's 6 personalities that we are going to see from Bray Wyatt. So what are the other 2, I guess you could say, because we've seen 4. So what are the other 2 going to be? People are speculating. Is one going to be the Fiend? Maybe. Howdy talked about it, right? Is so is one going to be cult leader Bray? Maybe, or maybe not. Maybe it's someone altogether different. And but yes, and where I want to see it go, now I agree 100% with Jeff. I don't want to see him wrestle yet. I don't think he'd belong wrestling in Survivor Series, because unless he all of a sudden revealed that faction before then, but that's not a lot of time. And if now all of a sudden, if you do that, well, I don't know, then it kind of feels like they're rushing everything. So I don't want to see him wrestle this year either. I don't think it would be, and I think his first match, I think, is going to be him and Howdy. And it sure looks that way. He's really upset now that Howdy's interrupting him every week. And I think that it's going to be him and Howdy. So the question is then, who is Howdy? Well, it doesn't probably really even matter. It's almost like when when Undertaker wrestled Undertaker. Who cares who it is? We knew who it was. We found out, right? But it doesn't matter. It ultimately doesn't matter because he has to best that person in order to move forward. And if they beat him, well, then what happens? You dive more into the hole. You go more into the story. If Howdy beats him, does that mean he comes back as the Fiend? Does that mean that the mask comes back for at least one match until he could beat the other personality down? Guys, listen, you have to, if you have not done so, and I know we've preached this before, if you have not watched the movie Split, you need to. Mm-hmm. You really, really need to. Because Bray had mentioned this before. This whole thing with it. I think he's watched the movie. I'm pretty certain of it. And it is very, very close to what we're seeing here. If you haven't seen that film, go watch it because you'll know what I mean. But I'm not going to speed this up. Obviously, like Jeff said, it is a slow burn story. I'm enjoying where they're going with it. Continue to use the QR code stuff. Give little clues here and there. Continue to do that. Maybe have him do some one-off appearances. I think C Wrestling mentioned this in his latest video. Maybe have him show up on a Raw, just out of the blue. Out of the blue. Make it tomorrow, please. It won't happen, but have him show up on a random Raw, just out of the blue, just to keep things a little weird. I don't know if Fox will allow it either though, because that's a higher paid check than I'll ever see. So, but yeah, that's how I would do it. And just, but that's what I think is going to happen. That's how I think will happen. So, and you'll hear from Jody and Dom tomorrow, I'm sure. Let me see what some of you are saying. We have, I think it's going to be Brandon's talking about War Games, I guess. Yeah. Bray Wyatt versus Bray Wyatt at the Rumble, says Tim Johnson. I would book it to where you reveal each member of the family week by week, says James Grant. Slow burn. It has been so good. Uncle Howdy continues to torture Bray, reminding him how he fell at the feet of false gods, and says Bray's only way out is to face him in a satanic sanitarium match. Oh, good Lord. How would that even look? Remember, we have yet to hear anything from Uncle Harper, correct? Bo Dallas, says Brandon, wonder if we'll see Bray snap more than we did on SmackDown. Maybe, good Lord, if he snapped more than that, he might kill someone. Maybe if he really snaps on someone when he feels ready to wrestle. I wouldn't change anything. I want to know where this goes. I want to see the inner fight with the storyline having overtones of mental health. It is perfect for him to fight himself. Conrad says so many ways to go. If Bray comes back as the Fiend at some point, I'll freak out. Probably most of us will. 30% viewer increase shows the Bray effect. Split was fire. Yes, very good movie. Very, very good movie. I'm going to go on a limb, but I think Bray finds the forbidden door, turns up on Impact, and is saved from his demons by learning to believe in Joe Hendry. That would be amazing. Oh my God, that would be awesome. That's a hell of a booking right there.
There it is.
That's wonderful. That's really wonderful. I believe it. That's wonderful. We'll have to book Joe Hendry.
Yeah.
We need to book Joe Hendry. That's a good one. Oh my God, that's awesome. Bray starts out as himself, then he anoints people to his old positions as his followers. Bray will try to right his wrongs with twists and turns. Yeah, very good. All right. Well, there you go. That is our Book of Wrestler segment for this week. And we are headed to our next segment, which is Favorite Moments of the Week. Think of your top 3 and let us know. Now, we're going to do this a little bit differently in the chat because I don't want to have to read everybody's top 3 all at once. So if you can, follow along with us and do your number 3 when we do our 3, then do your 2 when we do our 2, and I'll read all your guys' stuff out as well. And, of course, your number 1 when we do our number 1. So that said, this is our top 3 favorite moments of the week. And we'll start. Number 3. So give us your number 3 in the chat. Jeff, what was your number 3 moment of the week?
Man, my number 3 moment of the week was seeing Violent by Design get stronger. That was really cool to see them, to see them add a couple members. I was worried about where they were going. Started seeing some of the other stuff that they were doing. It's kind of Fight Club-esque, which I enjoy. But yeah, Violent by Design for me, picking up 2 new members was awesome.
Yep, absolutely. My number 3 is Rey freaking Mysterio. Man, oh man. This guy has been wrestling for how long, and he still comes out and puts on a match like he had with Gunther on SmackDown on Friday. I'm sitting there doing the watch along in awe of this dude. He just keeps continuing to show. And this guy, Gunther's a giant, man. And we were sitting there laughing. I'm like, man, Rey just goes up against these giants of a men and just looks impressive doing it. And how long he's been doing it, man, hands off to Rey Mysterio. He's been around for so long. He just got out of this feud with his son. He's gotten to the point where now his son has gotten over. While he was there, he got to wrestle with his son. That's amazing. What an amazing career Rey has had. And man, we're all that much better for watching him throughout his whole career. I mean, man, we saw this guy get his eye poked out.
Yeah. I mean, he lost an eye.
He lost an eye. Who does that? Who comes back from a lost eye? But yeah, I love the match with Gunther. It's just another sign that Rey Mysterio, even as long as he's been in wrestling, that he certainly still has it to wrestle on a top tier level with some of the biggest names in wrestling right now. So Rey Mysterio for me was my number 3. Let's see. I love this Bray. I can relate to that character that was about to lose his crap when he was interrupted on SmackDown. He reminded me of me. Oh, I said that too, Jesse. I have major road rage. And when he talked about that, when somebody cuts you off on the road, oh, I could feel that one. Oh, boy. Bailey versus Bianca was Alexa Bliss Gamer's number 3. Gunther versus Rey, says Big Boy Dally. So I agree with you. Bianca versus Bailey. Conrad says Violent by Design. Usos versus the Brawling Brutes, says Dylan. The Bray segment at Crown Jewel is Jesse's number 3. Savannah winning against Jessica and getting a top championship match at Overdrive. Yeah, Savannah Evans. That's big for her. We had been saying that, she could end up with a title shot at some point. That'll be big. Yeah, that's a big step for her. So good for Savannah. Nikki part 2. Are you calling her Nikki 2? Gus says the eye for an eye match. Yes. Michael Cole mentioning the Bullet Club by name at Crown Jewel. That's big, right? That's big. That's up there with Kevin Nash mentioning Shawn Michaels. Ray losing his eye. Got to see the light. I know. He got like 1 million views. We'll never forget WCW Kevin Nash, lawn darting Rey Mysterio inside of the yeah, he's been in so many cool things. Sean Rousset saying the Viking Raiders promos. Yeah, what's going to come of that? We have yet to see a payoff from that. And Sarah Logan, of course, in that. So that should be really interesting too. Yeah, I dig it. I have major rage in general, but I have intolerance for stupid people on the road. Yeah, I'm very, very bad road rage. Very, very bad. So yes, we don't want to talk about that. That's a different side of me. That's that side of me. So yes. All right, moving on. Jeff, what's your number 2?
All right, number 2 for me this week. I got to shout this guy out. Love him or hate him as a person. Logan Paul's performance at Crown Jewel was very impressive in my opinion. I thought that he looked really good in the ring for this being his 3rd match. I thought it was I just thought he did a tremendous job, and it looked I mean, it really did look like a good match from start to finish. Um, it didn't look clunky. He really did impress with his performance, and obviously the the you're gonna go viral Roman thing. Him taking the phone
Yeah.
off the top there. That was a cool moment. So yeah.
Jeff Jarrett showing up in AEW. Fan of Jarrett here, said Big Boy Dally. Yeah, a lot of people are. Jeff Jarrett was he's a Hall of Famer. He's a big personality in wrestling. Alexa and Oscar versus Damage Control. Logan Paul says Conrad, so he agrees with Jeff. Deanna says not a huge Logan fan, but he's taking this serious and looks amazing. Logan Paul number 2. Joe Hendry appearing when Myers and Cardona were talking.
That was cool.
Karrion Kross versus Drew on Crown Jewel, says Gust. Number 3 is Bray and Logan Paul performance. Bray was my number 2, says Mark. Number 2, Omos showing personality and being a decent versus Time Bomb versus Braun. Yeah, okay. Wrestling Lane said number 2 is Bray. Man, my number 2, I'm going to go back a little ways because we didn't get to cover this because we didn't do a show for this time, but the moment was so good. I'm still laughing about it today. So I'm going to, he's not Uzi enough. I'm going back. Listen, and you know what? I'm going to include something else in this too. We're going to get to our segment, The Lighter Side of Wrestling, next. And remember, I told you to do your homework, so be prepared for that. But for me, when wrestling can make me laugh, it's just as good as when they come up with these great promos that Bray does. I love it. It's a part of wrestling that I think gets lost. And the whole thing with Sami Zayn, and it's so much reminded me of a Saturday Night Live skit. I think when my thing goes to that, I go to segments with Chris Farley, the late great Chris Farley. And when he did that Van Down by the River skit for the very first time, and he fell through the damn table, that was not scripted. He did it on his own. He fell through that table and broke it on his own. And you saw the people that were in that skit could not even hold it back because they didn't expect it. And I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And the stuff that Sammy is doing with the Usos and with Roman Reigns to get them to break character is fantastic. And what a gift that is. If you have that kind of wit, that's amazing. And you know what? They're doing it in AEW as well with the scissor me daddy ass.
Yep.
The scissors, the foam fingers. I absolutely love that. I think that's fantastic. And it harkens back to DX. Remember the silly things that DX used to do? It's the same thing. They got us all laughing. They'd have the jokes and the more risque stuff that they did, and that makes wrestling fun. And it's great to see that they're trying to do that. And making some people laugh. And I absolutely love that. So that's my number 2. With the Uzi stuff and the Scissor Me stuff. I love it. I think it's great. Let's see what people are saying. Bailey versus Bianca Belair at Crown Jewel was 2. Me and Joe got the same number 2. That is my number 1. Jeff Jarrett, WCW, AEW. RIP Chris Farley, big fan of his work. Yeah, Chris Farley was awesome. I loved his work too. Rick Ross, Accusations, said Bonus Baby is his number 2. Otis and Gable dressed like Chip and Dale. Yes, that was amazing.
That was good.
That was really cool too. And that was a thing for Chris Farley did that as well. So that was kind of a thing also. Yeah, I thought that was great too. Riddle dressing like Ezekiel. Yep. That was funny too. We figured we'd get some good stuff on Halloween, and we did. WWE clicked and got gold with that. And the best part is that it was all random. Yeah, it was awesome. All right, everybody. Let us know what's your number 1. Jeff, what was your number 1 moment of the week?
My number 1 moment of the week. They're really moments. Bray Wyatt in this story that he's telling. And honestly, just seeing the many directions that this can go. But I mean, the man is he's into this role. He's into this character.
Yep.
Um, and you can tell that. You can tell by what he's doing, and the changing that he does between characters that we've seen thus far. So yeah, I'm digging what he's doing right now. So Bray, for me, his promos, um, the stuff we got yesterday, I just think is great. It was great.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna go 2 for 1. Let me see what you guys are saying. Number 1 is the new Violent by Design, said John Kessler. Big Boy Dally said Logan Paul's performance, torn MCL, ACL, and meniscus occurring halfway through the match. A lot of times that happens with athletes. They have so much adrenaline built up that they don't feel the pain. And then it happens after it's over, and then everything calms down, and then you realize what you did. So not surprising that happened. He probably had a ton of adrenaline built up. Kaz and Josh Alexander build, says Conrad, is his number 1. Jesse saying shades of old Otis. Yes. Bray's promo on SmackDown. Bray Wyatt interruption during the Alexa Bliss interview. Of course you would say that, Alexa Bliss gamer. I'd be surprised you didn't. Uncle Howdy interrupting, says Wrestling Lane. Bianca versus Bayley and Bray Wyatt promo is his number 1. Bray walking in the crowd out of character made me so happy for him. Logan's great effort is my number 1 moment of the week. Number 1, Bray and the stellar promos, an intriguing storyline. Both of Mr. Wyatt's promos. Amazing that you can what you can do with so much more contemporary creative minds and not guys that rip up scripts 5 minutes before a show. Bray's SmackDown segment was my number 1. And another one, also Violent by Design, from an LA Knight. Yeah, okay. LA Knight. Yeah, he's been doing great since he's been back. I'm going with 2. And they've both been mentioned. Logan Paul, I don't like the dude, but you have to give credit where credit is due. He put out a great match. He fought through what were horrible injuries, and still ended up doing that big spot off the top rope. I love how Roman sold it. Roman looked hurt. After that match was over, he walked away and kept on holding his face to sell that. And the punch that he took, I don't know. Does this kind of, I don't know. Does Roman change a little after this one? It's going to be interesting to watch. He took that hit. Did that change him a little bit? Sometimes when you're on top of the mountain and somebody kind of knocks you down a peg, you kind of start to overthink things, and you start to wonder if you're as invincible as you once thought you were. That'd be cool to see if they went with that, because but we'll see. And then, of course, the Bray Wyatt stuff. I am absolutely loving this. That promo last Friday had me, I was like, wow. That rage and that primal stuff, like, man, I told you, that poor dude that was in the back there, even though he knew that, obviously, he knew that Bray was not serious, but for him to stand there and take him screaming at him like that. And you saw the still pic with Bray's mouth wide open and the eyes are like this wide, and he's right next to him right here. Man, I don't know how that dude didn't just, like, I mean, what a promo. What a promo. Yeah. And man, we just have to wait for SmackDown every week with like bated breath as to what's going to happen next with this. And you just don't know. You don't know what it's going to be. Is he going to come to the ring? Is he not? Is he going to be somewhere in the back? We don't know. And yeah, I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. So, well, there you go. And if you don't have any favorite moments of the wrestling week, why are you watching wrestling?
Got to be able to pick something out.
Yes. All right. Well, there you go. Our favorite moments of the week. And I think we are about at the end game of our show tonight. And we are at the lighter side of the ring, I believe.
Yeah. And you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and put this up because we just talked about it.
Oh, priceless. Absolutely priceless. I mean, Usi. Brilliant. It was just brilliant. It's absolutely. This is something that people are going to be able to go back and watch time after time after time. If you're in a depressed mood, if you're down and you're mad, you turn this stuff on and you can't help but laugh. Brilliant. It's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. the lighter side of the ring. Jesse's going to warm up with some jokes during this. And I'm going to ask all of you now the question, and I'm going to pose this to Jeff, and I'm going to pose this to all of you. And I hope you thought about it. Who is your most favorite wrestler that had a comedic side to them? Someone that makes you laugh when you see them come out, or when they were in the ring, or maybe they were in a segment, maybe like the Miz with Miz TV, or something along those lines. Maybe it goes back even further. For me, it does. But who were the people who got you to chuckle when you were watching wrestling? Because I think that is like I said, I think it's a gift, and not everybody can do it. And I think it's awesome. So who were those people for you? Let us know in the chat. I think Alexa Bliss Gamer told us that R-Truth, a great pick. R-Truth is amazing at that. And you know, again, our thoughts are with him, nursing an injury. So hopefully he's okay. But who were those people for you that made you laugh? I'll just throw out a couple of names, Jeff, and Mark Henry as Sexual Chocolate.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't realize this, and I heard him talking about it on that show that they did. He didn't win a match. I didn't know that. When he was in that personality, he never won a match.
Never won.
And I was like, wow. And I'll tell you that you didn't hear the interview with him on Busted Open. He came out and said he pitched that to Vince. And you want to know how funny Vince is. And Vince is like, so wait a minute. You don't want to win a match. And he's like, nope. He's like, nope. And he said, I want to do this character. I want to do, I want to come out. I want to do that. And I never, ever want to win a match. And it took some doing. And Vince finally let him do it. And Mark Henry said on the show that he sold more merch for Sexual Chocolate than he sold for any other character than he's ever done in his career. And so for me, hilarious. And the Mae Young hand baby with the sexual thing. I mean, hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. I can think of, Leaping Lanny Poffo with the goofy poetry. I mean, the obvious ones, Doink the Clown, Dink, of course, Doink and Dink. Go back to guys like, they were a little scary at first and then turned George the Animal Steel when he would bite the turnbuckle, but then he kind of turned a little bit silly as he went along. Hillbilly Jim. And his don't go messing with a country boy, the characters in the 80s, some of them are so over the top. And then you look at some of the newer ones. Mick Foley with Dude Love was great stuff. Oh my gosh. And yeah, give me some names. Throw some names out there. Jeff, who are some of yours?
Man, honestly, I gotta say The Rock.
Oh, without a doubt.
Just the one-liners, the punchlines, making up songs. I think I saw Conrad say this.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was one. Bobby the Brain Heenan.
Bobby and Gorilla Monsoon, fantastic.
They were great.
Fantastic.
R-Truth.
Yeah,
and what he's doing.
Yeah.
Booker T. I see Elijah saying Booker T. Booker T.
Yep.
I mean, going to TNA like John is doing here, Shark Boy, Curry Man.
Oh yeah.
There's just so many that you can name out there, and then you get some of the newer faces like Danhausen. What they're doing with them in AEW and stuff right now. So I mean, there are a lot out there, and it's a lot of fun.
Takes a special person to do it. Michael Cole, Bray Wyatt, Sami Zayn, The Rock, hands down. Singing the song "Embarrassing Coach," 12 Days of Christmas about Test, Booker T and Goldust at King of the Ring. What about Rock's song about Vicky Guerrero?
Oh man!
Oh my God! Oh my God! Yeah. I cracked up laughing that entire segment. Bobby Heenan with Gorilla. For me, another one is Roddy Piper.
Yeah.
Roddy Piper, when he would do the Piper's Pit, and we had Jimmy Snuka, do you want a coconut? And they whacked him in the head with a coconut. He was fantastic too. How about when he came back in the NWO and he spent the days in the prison and he was stinky?
Alcatraz.
And he came and Alcatraz and he came out and he was smelly and everything. Roddy Piper was another one. Fantastic. Pat McAfee. Yeah. Pat McAfee's a great example for someone new. Mr. Sacco. Yep. How about Jeff Santino Morella? With the Cobra. Mentioned him. They mentioned him on the show too. Do you know that he made more money than any wrestler that year selling those Cobra socks as merch? He sold. I think Mark Henry was saying they sold 200,000 of them when they first got them in the store. Then they sold 500,000. And he said he was making more money selling those socks than any of the other wrestlers were making on TV.
I believe it.
Santino Morella.
I believe it. That was so over at that time.
Oh my God. Booker T and Goldust.
Yeah.
Goldust was, yeah. How about remember when Goldust got, what do you do? Get struck by lightning?
Yeah.
Remember that one? And he kept going, and he kept like he was getting shocked. Huskus, whenever he was, the puppets were funny. Yeah. Bobby Heenan, WWE, and Shark. Yep, Shark Boy and Curryman, like Jeff mentioned. The Rock imitating other people. Lance Storm. PN News, the world's worst wrestling rapper, was unintentionally hilarious. Bobby Heenan, Eddie Guerrero. Yeah, Eddie Guerrero had some funny stuff that he did. Stone Cold Steve Austin, when he went after Vince McMahon with the bedpan. I mean, Stone Cold did some funny shit.
Grocery store fight with Booker T.
Oh my God. Yes. Just bashing him with groceries. Bubba Ray Dudley and ECW. I'll give you another one from ECW, Elijah. What about the Sandman? Sandman, when he'd come out and Bully Ray said he was drunk every time he came out to the ring, and he said he'd come out and he was whacking himself in the head with the can. The Sandman was awesome. Edge and Christian. Yes, Edge and Christian were a great comedy team for a while. Let's see if we got any more. Vicky Guerrero's career. Oh, that was awesome. That was absolutely awesome. Virgil is number 24, right? Yes. Who knows how many bags he's gone through in the back? Will you stop, Bobby the Brain? I love them. Absolutely love them. William Regal was funny. Yeah. Regal used to do, and that was weird with him because he looked so serious. And when he would do, absolutely. Johnny Swinger, without a doubt. Johnny Swinger is one. We laugh every time he comes to the ring. The man doesn't win. He's like Mark Henry. He never wins a match. I've seen him win once. And Joe Hendry's awesome. Listen, when Joe Hendry does that creepy thing where he comes up and comes up behind people, I laugh every single time. I think that's hilarious. Rockstar Spud and EC3 together in Impact are really funny. Batista threw him into the breaker box. That's how he electrocuted him. Hornswoggle, of course, Hornswoggle. Yes, the things he did when he'd crawl from underneath the ring and stuff like that. Oh God, so good. Triple H used to be in DX. DX was hilarious. DX was hilarious. The stuff that they would do. Bubba Ray with the stuttering character. Oh my God. Yes, that's a good one. The Hurricane. What? Stand back. There's a hurricane coming through. Tons of funk. Brodus Clay and Tensai. Oh my God. Now we're getting some good ones. Look at this. The question mark. Oh, he was fantastic. The question mark was fantastic. Would never speak. He never spoke. He would do that. And he'd do that stuff all the time. Oh, wonderful. Matt Riddle talking to Rambling Rabbit in the back. I remember that. John Cena wakes up at a hospital. Where am I, nurse? I see you. No, you can't. DX. Oh my gosh. Moppy. Good Lord. Hurricane was hilarious. All right. That's awesome. I'm glad you guys all remembered a lot of that because it's really good and it's really fun. So Jesse, you're up. Go right to it. I know Jesse's got a lot of stuff. So let's go. Let's get Jesse's stuff on the roll here. Piper, Heenan, Monsoon during SummerSlam 91. Oh my God. The thing that cracked me up more with Roddy Piper was that thing with with Downey, with Morton Downey. The thing at Mania when he went up to him, don't blow smoke in my face. And then he squirted him with the fire extinguisher. Oh, dear Lord, that was priceless. And Brother Love, I love you. It was so awesome. What a spot that was. So good. So good. Awesome. Well, Jesse, you're up. And while you're doing that, we will talk to you guys about what we've got coming up. So obviously tomorrow is Monday already. It's Abby's window time, 6:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is Jeff. That is Jody, of course. And it will be Dom with them as well from Give Me a Whole Yeah. So they will all be there tomorrow to discuss everything that they saw on SmackDown on Friday and also what happened with Bray on Crown Jewel. So join them for that. Another big episode of Abby's Window. Can't miss it. So make sure you join them for that. All right, number one, here we go. Before you criticize someone, walk a mile in their shoes. That way, when you do criticize them, you're a mile away and you have their shoes. That's a good start. Kurt Angle, Elijah. Yes, absolutely. Kurt Angle with the milk and stuff like a milk. Yeah. Kurt Angle. Yeah, it was awesome. Give me a whole yeah, says Dom rocks. Yes, Dom does rock. Number two, if a parsley farmer gets sued, can they garnish his wages? Oh.
It's a good one.
That was good. That is good. Randy Orton's done some comedy. Yeah, he has. Yeah, he definitely has. Oh my gosh. All right, so that's Abby's. Thursday night, we have Impact Wrestling. That is at 7:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That will be myself, Jeff, and it's been Tazzy with us also. Come join us for that. If you haven't watched Impact, come out and check it out. Honestly, it's really, really good. You can watch it on their YouTube channel. It's literally 99 cents to watch, unless you want to get the Prime one, which is $5, and then that gives you all the mini pay-per-views and stuff as well. Come and check it out with us. It's a lot of fun. And if you haven't watched it, it's really good wrestling. So come out and check it out with us at 7:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Thursday. And then of course we'll be back for SmackDown to watch along for SmackDown on Friday. That's 7:45 p.m. as well. Number two, I didn't think orthopedic shoes would help, but I stand corrected. That was a good one. Kurt Angle with the tiny cowboy hat. Yes, I do remember that. Yep, I remember that. Gus is talking about the Siena Hospital thing. Yeah, that was really, really good. Yeah, really funny stuff. So we'll have SmackDown on Friday. We've been doing a watch along for SmackDown since the Bray stuff started. So come back and join us for that. That'll be the first SmackDown since the pay-per-view. So it should be interesting. We might start to see like different things progressing there, especially if they're going towards something else. Number 4, I got a new pair of gloves today, but they're both lefts, which on the one hand is great, but in the other, it's just not right. Oh, this is clever humor. This is intellectual humor. You got to think a little bit. I like it. Tazzy's laughing. Tazzy's back. What's Dracula's least favorite Michael Jackson song? Man in the Mirror.
Oh, that's a good one.
Clever. I'm looking. That's a good song. Impact is 90 minutes a week. Perfect for busy wrestling fans unable to commit 14 hours a week. Yeah, very true. It's only an hour and a half. Number 5. People who take care of chickens are literally chicken tenders. Yeah.
I see what you did there.
I get one of those for that. I'll give you a Christopher Reeve Superman salute. Yeah, that's it. It's a good one. See, I told you, you got to have some comedy in your life. And Jesse provides it. So here you go. We're providing you with a service. That's what we're doing. We're providing you with a service. Number 6. Maybe if we start telling people their brain is an app, they'll want to use it. Wow, that's intellectual.
That is.
That's not even a joke per se. That's intellectual. Okay. See, you're learning something too. Bobby Heenan's commentary during the Hart Brothers match in 1993 Survivor Series was comedy gold, especially. See, that's the kind of stuff. Keep that kind of stuff in mind for when we do the membership streams. Because if there's something like that, things like that you really want us to do, I would love to go back and kind of do play-by-play on some of those old pay-per-views. So definitely keep those in mind for when we do our membership streams. Number 7, I just got kicked out of a secret cooking society. I spilled the beans. Gus wants to know what the membership cost.
We haven't decided yet, Gus. So
yeah, we haven't picked it out yet, the price, but it's not going to be a lot. We're not going to break you. Let's put it that way. We know money's tight. It's tight for us too. Yes. So we're not going to break you with it. Tazzie's. What the heck is in Tazzie's show? Is that peanuts?
I don't know.
Beans. Tazzie has beans there. Okay, I should have known that. It's beans. It's beans. Jeff, did you see the interview from Dom's channel with Crazy Steve? Oh, no, we have not. I'll have to check that out.
No, I haven't seen it yet.
out. I love Crazy Steve. He's really cool. Very cool dude. We'll definitely have to check that out. I wish he was here. He would be great for delivering him from his Scroogey ways. I'm surprised we haven't gotten any commentary so far. I kind of figured we would. He's probably asleep. I mean, remember, it's the clock thing. Everybody's kind of screwed up today. Brandon saying Sting, Michael King saying Piper. Yeah, Piper was awesome. I loved Roddy. He's literally, I think when we did our top wrestler list, he made the number 1 for me. Roddy Piper was a big, I loved him. Absolutely loved him. Big Dan has a fart joke. I passed gas one time at a bar and a guy said, "How dare you fart before my wife?" I said, "I didn't know it was her turn." Oh. An interview with Crazy Steve is available on our channel. Enjoy. I'll definitely have to check that out. That's awesome. Just got fired from my job as a set designer. I left without making a scene. See, we don't even have dark Jessie this week. Sometimes Jessie gets really dark with some of her jokes. We've had intellectual and light stuff tonight. So there you go. We've been on we have a different side of Jessie tonight. So number 9, what's the difference between ignorance and apathy? I don't know, and I don't care. That's really good.
That's good.
That was just a really good one. Oh my God, Hacksaw. Yes, Hacksaw when he put the thumb. Oh, I loved Hacksaw Jim Duggan too. Great guy. That's awesome. Loved him. Hall and Nash in WCW.
Yeah.
We're gonna start them Big Boy Dally in January, and we'll definitely let you know when. We're gonna do 2 of them a month. So we're going to start them in January. So just we figured we'd because we're coming to the end of the year and it's coming holiday time and stuff like that and Christmas and all that. So, people are going to need money more than ever for the holidays. So we didn't want to start it until after the holidays. So that's when we're going to do it. We'll get you a definite date though as we go. Number 10, refusing to go to the gym is a form of resistance training. Yeah,
that's a good one.
Yeah, it is. Bonus Baby's talking about football. Titans with a backup quarterback nobody's heard of. That must mean that their starting quarterback got. Is that I forget his name?
Ryan Tannehill.
Tannehill must have got hurt, huh?
Yeah.
Alicia says broken pencils are pointless.
That's good too.
Very true. The gobbledygooker. It is around Thanksgiving time, isn't it?
Yeah.
Adam and Eve were the first ones to ignore the Apple terms and conditions.
That's good. Like that's really good.
That's a really good one. Oh, the chat loved that one. Elijah loved that one. Big Boy, that's a really good one. That might have been your best one so far. Look at the chats rolling. You got the chat rolling with that one. That's a good one. Number 12. A dung beetle walks into a bar and asks, "Is this stool taken?" Some good ones tonight, Jesse. That's good too.
That's good.
Big really Tazzy good. Just gave it a damn. Jesse's on a roll tonight. She's getting inspired by Sami Zayn. and being oozy. Jesse's oozy tonight.
She's very
Jesse's very oozy tonight. Dusty Rhodes, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. The yellow spot, Dusty Rhodes, for sure. Dusty could cut a promo. Oh my gosh, they were good. Number 13. If attacked by a mob of clowns, go for the juggler.
That's good.
Ron Simmons, damn, is legend. Oh, for sure, that too. How that caught on. Ron Simmons never said a damn word. He never did, and it just came out and just went, damn. Yeah, awesome. Jesse says, "I feel oozy tonight, yo." Oh my gosh. Yeah, see, we end your night with a laugh. We send you out with a smile. You gotta go with a smile, as Jack Nicholson once said as the Joker. Chess trip to the Coca-Cola factory. I hope there's no pop quiz.
Ooh.
Clever. That's clever, Alicia. I like it. Number 14. The rotation of Earth really makes my day. This is a bunch of clever jokes you have here tonight, Jesse. It's very, very, very clever. Very, very clever.
Very.
Oh my gosh. I think she might have one or two more. I think she's having it at 15. Or did you say 14? I pulled the Jack Nicholson Joker. Yes, I did. I love that movie. That's my favorite Batman movie ever. Of all time. Imagine when we get Bray and Sammy interaction in the future. Oh, dear Lord. Could you imagine? Holy crap, 14. Give me a whole yeah. I was enjoying it, saying these are great. You got to have a little fun in your life, right? A little fun. Are you done, Jesse? Was that it? My favorite Joker. Me too. I liked him too. I loved, don't get me wrong. I loved the one in Dark Knight. Oh boy, we're getting bots. You see, we stuck around now. We made everybody laugh, and now here comes the bots. Christopher saying these jokes are awesome. I loved Heath Ledger's. Very, very creepy take on it. But Jack Nicholson just has a special place in my heart. I think it's probably because the first Batman movie that came out back then in '89. Obviously not the first, the Adam West one. It was before that. But I love Nicholson's. Another great edition of Callan Corner. Well, there you go, guys. Yeah, that's it. Thank you so much, Jesse. We really appreciate that. And like I said, send everybody out with a smile. All right, guys, we are done. Thank you for being with us tonight. I know the show ran a little longer than usual, but we had a ton of stuff to talk about, and we had to get it all out there. So we're glad you came out. We're glad you joined us. We really, really appreciate it. Again, if you haven't done so already, please consider subscribing to our channel. Also, make sure you give a like, hit a like on the video for us tonight. Likes really help us out. Also, if you'd be kind enough to share the video, sharing helps it as well. And also, please make sure you hit that notification button to be notified about when we have future content. So that is it for us for Between the Ropes. We hope you had a good time, and hopefully we will see you all for our next show, which will be Abby's Window tomorrow night at 6:00 p.m. Please join Jeff and Jody, of course, and of course Dom from Give Me a Hull Yeah, who was in the chat tonight. Thanks for being with us tonight. Really appreciate that. So join them tomorrow for Abby, 6:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Guys, have a great rest of your night. Please be kind to one another. Stay safe. And hopefully we will see you all for our next show, which will be tomorrow for Abby's Window. Good night, everybody.